What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to the last day of the Elephant Challenge, pre-foreclosure edition. Good to see you guys. Super excited. I've got my wife coming in today. Have some conversations with some sellers. And super excited about it. These are keys right here on all of the foreclosures that we bought this month right here. Look at all these. These are a lot of keys. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of keys. A lot of people we helped this month, just in Arizona. Going to tell you guys a couple of things that is going on in the country. I got a big Zoom call today with my fund manager talking about the multifamily world is going to take a complete dip, a huge implosion. There's economic data almost guaranteeing another rate hike and interest rates. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about multifamily. It's very different from single family. Let me show you guys this just real quick. If I'm in single, this is why single family is great. Okay. If I buy a single family home and I go get a 3% interest rate loan, I get usually a 30-year term on that. Okay. In multifamily, that's not how it works. Okay. In multifamily, these big apartment complexes, all these syndicators, these people that are putting money together, okay, they are usually getting 3 to maybe 7 year on the long end bridge financing. Okay, what is bridge financing? Well, you know, sometimes you guys got to use English, the English that you learned when you were really, really young. There's this word called bridge that is very literal. It is a bridge from them to go from point A, which is when they bought it. Bought it, to point B when they sell it to typically a hedge fund, okay, or a pension fund or something like that, right? A lot of these hedge funds and pension funds will buy these big assets because they have a lot of money to spend. So what you do is you buy an asset by, let's say, for example, I've got a 408 unit in Charlotte that I own. So you buy this, and what you do is you go secure 3 to 7 year bridge financing. Okay. In single family, it's very common. It's like, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's like 95% of the time, this is a fixed rate. Okay. In multifamily, it's like 95% of the time, it's not a fixed rate. And the reason for that is that these apartment syndicators are going out and buying apartments just like I do, 408 units, you know, you renovate them and then you raise the rent in the time frame that you own them. And hopefully you get to point B where you sell that asset before this comes due. Okay? Is this making sense for everybody? Give me a yes in the comments if you guys understand this. Now, what is going on right now? Okay, there are a lot of people. This is where multifamily is going to completely implode. And it's going to be, as my partners talked about today on our call, it will be a bloodbath. Okay. Multifamily is hurting right now. It has not even begun to hurt. It is going to get so bad. It's going to be so bad. Okay. Think about all these syndicators. Okay. I'm talking like 400,000 loans. Okay. That are coming due. What does coming due mean? I know that for some of you guys, it's like, Pace, you don't need to explain everything, but I can guarantee you right now, there's at least one person in here that says, I don't know what coming due means, right? Yep, there you go. Deborah says, that's me. I don't know. Okay. Robert, what's my plan? I'm going to get there, bro. Come on, man. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. I got to lay down what the plan or what's going on, the issues are first. Okay. Okay. So you've got 400,000 loans coming due of people that were buying apartments 36 months ago. Okay. And just for round numbers, people were buying, let's say, $1 million apartment complex. And they were saying, let's say $10 million. And they were saying in 3 years, we're going to be able to, put $5 million into it with like renovations and improvements and all these kind of things. And in 3 years, we're going to be able to sell this thing for $22 million. Well, you can only sell this thing for $22 million if your buyer, okay, what does your buyer need, right? Over here, your buyer is going to buy this for $22 million. What do they need? They need a loan to buy this from you. Nobody buys anything in cash, just so you guys know. And so if interest rates, when you bought the deal, were 3%, 4%, and now interest rates for your new borrower are going to be 8 to 10%. By the way, right now, multifamily is already at 8.5%. Okay. By the summertime, they will be 10%. Okay. So do you think your buyer is going to be able to buy this asset for $22 million? Ryan Corbett says he was already quoted 12%. Are you seeing the problem here? 400,000 loans that people relied on the value of real estate going up in order to exit their 36 or let's say their 72-month balloon. Okay, not a lot of people had that long of a balloon. That most of them are 36 to 48 months. Okay, interest rates, because they're so high. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. Do I want to buy those multifamily deals on seller finance? Learn this. Some of you guys are going to say, yes. The answer is no, you do not. Absolutely no, you do not. No, 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 no. You don't buy them sub 2. You don't buy them on seller finance. No, 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 no. Why? Because those loans are ticking time bombs. Okay? There you go, Chris got it. You are inheriting a time bomb. Now, I just bought a property yesterday. Who watched my Instagram live yesterday where I bought a property from Kevin Cho in Phoenix, Arizona? Okay, that's 29 years left on the loan that's fixed with no balloon. Do I have to worry about what's going on in the economy over the next 29 years as that payment will stay the exact same for 29 years? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't have to worry about it. So think about if I'm in multifamily and I'm going out and getting bridge financing that is only going to last 36 months, and that 36 months has now come due, what is going to happen to my asset and what is going to happen for my investors who invested in me? A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money this year. Now, you're already seeing Google, Amazon, big companies, the companies that everybody talks about, laying off. We are seeing layoffs all over the country. In fact, our companies are all making money. And guess what we're doing? We're tightening everything down. We're getting ready. Okay. We've been getting ready. We know this is coming. Economic data just came out today with Black Knight. We pay for Black Knight data. Okay. Black Knight just told us basically that interest rates are going to go up again, and multifamily people are clamoring. Okay. Clamoring. They are absolutely clamoring to figure out how are they going to keep their property. So how can a multifamily person keep their property if their loan is coming due? Okay. So really great question. Okay. Black Knight. Hey guy, bro, change your name from Samsung to your real name. Black Knight is a data provider for mortgages. Okay. No, Mary Hernandez, if you bought a deal, okay, this is the other thing you guys got to understand. If I bought a deal for $10 million and I've got investors in there on top of that loan for $5 million, my total all-in price is $15 million, right? And let's say I'm cash flowing, but not a lot, right? I'm making a little bit of cash flow. What happens when my interest rate goes from 4% and then at the end of the 36 months, my new interest rate is 8.5 to 10%. What happens? Cash flow gone. In fact, you're hemorrhaging. You are unable to pay your bills. this is what is happening. The value of multifamily is going to go down. Okay. Values are going to go down and cash flows are going to go down. Not because of the rent rate. Not because of the rent rate. Okay. But because of the interest rate. So Maj is saying, how do you scoop them up? Maj, I'm going to tell you guys some stuff you do not want to hear, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay. Yes. So Freddie Hardy, yes, they will do what is called a cash call. Okay. They will do what is called a cash call. Some of you guys are like, what's a cash call? It is literally, I'm calling my investors and telling them we need more cash. It is a cash call. They will cash call their investors and say, hey, investors that put $5 million in to our deals, we need you to put another $5 million in or else we're going to lose this asset. So they're going to throw good money after bad money. More, or you're not going to be able to really bring in much more investors. You can, but now, man, you're running a Ponzi scheme at that point. Okay. Is anybody learning anything right now? Okay. This is happening right now. This is not going to happen. It is happening right now. I'm getting investors who own multifamily assets calling me up all over the country and asking me, can you help? 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 We're rushing. We need help. We need help. We need help. Pay attention to this. It is a horrible time to be in multifamily, but it is a wonderful time to get into multifamily. Does that make sense? Now, why did I tell you guys a couple of days ago that multifamily is not a good fit for you guys? Why? Does anybody in here actually know how to raise money? Say no if you don't know how to raise money. Okay. The majority of you guys don't know how to raise money. And that is why multifamily is not a good fit for you. You don't know how to raise money. You can do single family all day long without knowing how to raise money. You're not going to be able to scale big time, but you will never be successful in anybody who's in here that's actually raised. Actually, better yet, who in here has never raised $2 million in one fell swoop? Give me a no or a me or a no. Okay. Every single person in here that's saying me and a no, you have no capability of getting into large multifamily. Zero. I could give you the greatest education of multifamily on the planet. And see, Kathy, she says, I haven't tried. Well, that's even worse, right? Because it would take you a year to learn how to raise multifamily, right? So if you are trying to get into multifamily, what I would suggest you do is stay with small multifamily, 50 to 150 units, and focus on seller finance and subject to. Okay. Now, if you're like Thomas Dixon, he's like, I want to do 5 to 25 units. Perfectly fine. Okay. Perfectly fine. You're going to do one deal and you're going to run out of cash. And then you're going to say the same thing that I'm saying, which is, oh, dang, I don't have, hey, guys, let's be very clear. 2 to 4 units is not multifamily. That is still considered single family. 2 to 4 units is still considered single family. Okay. Cool. So now, if you've never done a deal before, a fix and flip, a wholesale, a buy and hold, you should not be jumping into multifamily. Okay. Andrea says, why is 2 and 4 not multifamily? That's how the lenders state it. So the lenders call that. Okay. So you should be focusing on single family. Now, why is the multifamily implosion good for people that are focusing on single family? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? We are going to have a foreclosure meltdown over the next 24 months. Who in here has been laid off in the last 30 days? Anybody in here has been laid off? Okay. You guys see all the people getting laid off? Guys, they haven't even started the layoffs. The people that are, okay, the people that are in here that have no clue because you have a safe job or you're a business owner right now, you have no idea how bad this is going to be. Look how many people. We already have a couple hundred people, right? We have a couple hundred people right now that are saying they just got laid off in the last 30 days. Is that a little eye-opening for you guys? Okay. I'm not pontificating. I'm not standing on my soapbox. I'm not trying to scare you. I just had the people in the side chat tell you straight up that it's not winter yet. It's currently just the beginning of fall. Just the beginning of fall. Here's what's going to happen. Okay. Rates are going to get raised again. It's going to happen probably sometime in March or April. And then rates are going to happen, bump up again in June or July. Okay. I'm trying to prepare you for the foreclosures. I'm trying to prepare you to understand what what is going to happen. Okay, there you go. Luis says, I work in refi escrow, bro. Luis, you are going to get laid off. Everybody I know that's a loan officer right now, I'm sorry. Do you want to hear the truth or do you want me to sugarcoat it? Loan officers, you're gone. Escrow officers, you're getting cut down to 70%. Okay. Real estate agents, you guys were making basically shit money anyway, so you will feel a difference, but some of you guys won't because you weren't making money anyway. Okay. It is going to be bad. We hired a CFO about 7 months ago, and our CFO is going through each and every department and getting every single person out that is not an absolute necessity and figuring out where we can cut costs because we are trying to batten down the hatches. Okay. Now, am I going to slow down? Absolutely not. I am absolutely not going to slow down. Dolores says, what do we do to prepare? Dolores, write this down. I'm going to tell you what to do to prepare. Okay. I'm not going to tell you some stupid mindset bullshit that somebody else is going to tell you on some other challenge about get your mind right. Guys, if you haven't gotten your mind right, nothing I'm going to say is going to help you out. Okay. Me telling you synergy, get your mind right, fix your money mindset, all that kind of stuff, guys, that doesn't actually give you a single skill that's going to change your life. Okay, so let's write down a couple of things. You need to gain skills. Skills are what pays the bills. Okay, that's it. Skills that pay the bills. For example, think about this. And by the way, my wife will be here in 40 minutes. So give me time. I'm letting people trickle in. By the way, how many people were late? Say yes. And say thank you for being patient with us, Pace, because there's people that showed up on time that are like, Pace, just get to it. Okay. So you see, there's a lot of people that showed up late. So let's be patient for them, okay? All right, so think about this. Listen to me here, okay? I want you guys to feed in the side chat what you think some of these skills are, okay? Number one, I'm an Eagle Scout. You know what Eagle Scouts look like when they get their merit badges? Let's do Eagle Scout merit badge. Okay. Check this out. So when I got my Eagle Scout, this is what an Eagle Scout looks like right here. This image. Okay. You see this lapel, or not this lapel, but the sash. Okay. We go through and we gain skills, right? Communication, swimming, archery, right? All of these things. Okay. So right now in the sub 2 community, I am building a merit badge camp for every skill that you need to acquire to be a successful real estate investor. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of them. Okay. Let's talk about a couple. Write these down. Take the notes. Okay. Take the notes, because I'm going to teach you not mindset BS. Okay. If you guys want to get mindset stuff, go read a book. Okay. If you want somebody to hype you up and all that kind of stuff, go read a book. That ain't me today. All right. Number one, how do I generate a lead in my business? Okay. Generating a lead. Okay. Generating a lead. So have we showed you guys yesterday by going into Privy how to identify people in foreclosure? Are those technically leads? Okay. Did you guys gain a skill if I said, go get me a lead within 5 minutes? You could go generate a lead. Okay. Cool. Now, that is true. Okay. What we're going to do is, you guys got a script yesterday, right? How did Christian and Quijano do in my absence? I bet they crushed it, right? They crushed. Yes. Amazing. They were awesome. Excellent. Okay, cool. So do you think talking to sellers is maybe a skill that we need to learn in this upcoming economic situation? Okay. Do you think that raising money is a skill that you need to learn how to do? What about closing a seller? What about paperwork? What about opening escrow? What about getting a hard money lender? What about managing a project? What about assigning or wholesaling a deal? What about putting the market out there, a property out there, and finding a buyer, right? Are these all skills that you need to learn? Okay, what other skills do we got, guys? Okay, what other things pop up in your mind, right? Underwriting, there you go. Underwriting is so valuable. Property management. Professionalism is a soft skill. I'm not talking about soft skills right now. I'm talking about hard skills, okay? Professionalism is a soft skill. I'm not interested in talking about soft skills right now. Okay, TC work, there you go. Okay, comping properties, analyzing, hiring employees, analyzing. Empathy is a soft skill. That is not a strategy to pay the bills. Okay, unless it has a hard skill attached to it. Okay, creative finance, there you go. Automation, disposition, analyzing repair cost. Okay, this is a lot of work, right? Do we all agree that this is like a lot of work? Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. And my 9-to-5 job just tells me what to do every single day. Guys, the reason why the 99% don't have money is because you rely on your job to tell you what to do all day, every day. And the second that you have to go out into an entrepreneurial world and somebody says, go figure it out, you then go, can somebody just hold my hand? Because for 25 years, you worked at a 9-to-5 job, and the 9-to-5 job told you what to do, and more importantly, not to do. They told you when to come to the job. They told you when to go home. They told you what time to have lunch. They told you what you were able to do, whether you were able to use your phone at the job, what you were able to wear, who you were able to sit next to, when you were able to take a break. Okay? All of these things conditioned you guys to have to break out of the 9-to-5 mentality. And now when people are sitting there, you guys are basically, I hate to say this, I was also one of these people. You are a pawn in someone else's chess game. Okay? You are a pawn in someone else's chess game. You're the first to die. You're the first to get laid off. And the reason being is because the pawn is the least skillful of all the pieces on the board. Interesting to think about. You have a lack of skill, so you allow other people to utilize you in a fashion to say, sorry, we're laying off. And you go, and people out there, you spend more time worrying about your layoff than you do spending time gathering skills and understanding the other side. And it is a mindset thing. There definitely is a mindset thing, but you don't learn the mindset stuff until you start gaining the skills. Okay, the tactical skills, not just the soft skills. Okay? Soft skills are great, right? Empathy, care, professionalism, how to articulate, storytelling, all of these types of things, okay? You guys need to learn hard skills. And so the elephant challenge is here to actually give you guys the hard skills. So did we go over and talk to everybody how to find a foreclosure yesterday? Can everybody sufficiently say, I know how to open up Privy. I have control of my own future. I can go in and find somebody that's going through a hardship, and I know the script to reach out to those people. Okay. And now, not only that, did we also give you guys sub-2 leaders that are willing to squat up and give you additional help and framework and places to plug in? Okay. Now, every single time you guys are sitting here worried about, I'm sitting here, I had a great day. I'm sitting here worrying about nothing other than everybody else. This is what today I call Molly and I say, hey, Molly, I'm going to cancel 3 of my Zooms. I'm going to spend the afternoon with my wife and my daughters. She's like, okay, I got them. I'm on it. Molly handles it. I go spend the whole day with my wife and daughters. I get on a partnership meeting about an hour and a half ago. And the partnership meeting was like, here's the data. Here's what's going to happen. Here's how we're going to pivot. Here's what this is going to. And I was like, got off the phone, kissed my daughters, hung out. My wife's like, how's that meeting? And I told her. She's like, are you worried? I go, yeah, I am. I'm really, really worried. I'm worried for everybody that has not obtained the skills to gain control of their own life. That is who I'm fearful for. That is who I'm afraid for. That is who I'm nervous for. That's the anxiety that I have, is for you guys that have not obtained the skills. It stresses me out. This is why we're here. I'm stressed out about you guys and the skills that you are lacking. You are lacking skills. How to generate a lead, how to talk to a seller, how to negotiate that seller, how to analyze the deal. Now, if I said, guys, go get a deal right now on your own, do you have all of those skills right now? Or do you have a squad of sub-2 students that you can rope in with, that you can leverage that stuff? Okay. Do you understand now why in the Elephant Challenge on day 1, I made sure your homework was squatting up with people, right? And then, and anybody in here that was a Boy Scout, that when you joined the Boy Scouts, they were like, oh, go tie this knot. And you go, I don't know how to tie the knot. And they go, oh, go over to Billy. He'll teach you how to tie the knot. He's really good at that. We start by not having these skills. And 100% of everything I've learned has come from squatting up from somebody else. Okay. So take the time to make sure you are plugged in with my sub-2 community. Make sure you take the time that you are plugged in with the Gators, so that when EMD is a requirement on your deal, or a transaction coordinator, when you need transaction coordination, right? My wife is going to come in. We're going to call Linda, the seller, today, and you're going to hear how she talks to the seller, and you're going to say, wow, I'm not great at that. This is why you hire a transaction coordinator. Okay. Transaction coordinator can be structured in a way that they get paid when your buyer brings their money to the table. That is also a skill of understanding and structuring. Okay. All right. So you guys who's stressed out about the upcoming economic downfall? It is happening. Like all the real estate agents and brokers that are trying to fight against it and saying, no, it's all fine. There's a lot of demand. Guys, there's a lot of demand does not fix the fact that there's not affordability. I can demand all I want that I deserve to buy a house, but if I can't afford the payment, affordability trumps demand. All of a sudden, people are like, we are short 15 million homes right now. No, we're not. We are not short anything. Those people live in apartments right now. Are you saying that 15 million people don't have a roof over their head right now? You are so dumb, real estate agents, that think that demand is so strong. Demand coincides with affordability. And if real interest rates right now are at 6.5% to 7.5% in residential, 8.5% to 9.5%. Some people are getting quoted 12% in multifamily right now. 12% in multifamily. I saw a video yesterday. Somebody's $20 an hour and they're homeless. $20 an hour, they're homeless. McDonald's is hiring at $16 an hour right now. Affordability trumps demand all day long. Okay. Beth Rook says, do you think it will be a 2008 era situation again? I don't think, no, because history doesn't repeat itself. Have we ever had another 2008 crash before? No. Did we ever have a 2001 crash prior to that? No. They're all unique. Every single one of these crashes is unique, other than the fact it's a crash. Other than the fact it's a crash. Ooh, I like that. Spencer Dean says, history doesn't repeat, it rhymes. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. Thank you, Spencer. That was really good. History doesn't repeat. So when people say, oh, it's not going to be like 2008, you're right. It's not. It could be worse. But I can tell you, they weren't talking about the price of eggs being $10 a dozen, were they? They weren't talking about supply chain issues in 2008, that you couldn't even get your hand on steel or iron or windows, right? Was that going on in 2008? No. Okay, history doesn't repeat. It rhymes. Oh, that's so good, Spencer. Thank you for that. So what are the skills that we learn in the Elephant Challenge? Right? Inflation, man. Think about that. Inflation. Inflation did not exist in 2008. Interest rates hiking like they did not. We didn't go from, 3% to 7% in less than a year in 2008. The fact that we've been able to withstand it does prove that there is strong demand. Okay. But guess what's happening? What's happening is the majority of homeowners are being pushed out, and big hedge funds like Blackstone, BlackRock, my company, other companies like Invitation Homes, all these big hedge funds, they're gobbling up properties. They are gobbling up properties. Guess what? Next month, I have a sit down with 20 of the largest hedge funds in a private meeting with 5 other big investors. And they want to come to us and say, we want to buy everything that your community can bring to us. Now, what's tough about that is like the individual homeowner with a wife and kids inside of me is like, no. But the business owner inside of me that has 600 or 700 people relying on me, what do you guys think I got to do? You got to make the money. And then guess what that means? If I have to now play by somebody else's rules, what does that make me? That makes me a pawn in their game as well. And so my job is to gain more skills, and my job is to play by a different set of rules. What's great for me is that I've gobbled up hundreds of properties in the last several years, all with creative finance. I don't even buy cash deals anymore. We don't do the BRRRR strategy, nor will I ever do the BRRRR strategy again. I'm done with it. I have learned skills that have put me in a situation where I win no matter what the market is. Joel says, is cash still okay? Guys, let's talk about this for real. Okay, let's talk about this for real. This is why foreclosures are such a great strategy. Okay, because what we should also be doing, I just had an idea for next Elephant Challenge. I'm wondering if I wonder if it's too premature for the economic downturn. I'm wondering if we go, we could do raising capital, but what I'm thinking is we do short sales, but I think that it's too preemptive. I think it's too forward thinking. I think in 6 months, maybe we do the Elephant Challenge in 6 months. We do a short sale challenge, and we teach you guys how to go after short sales, and we teach you guys how to negotiate and work on short sales. Okay. There's only one person in the country that I prefer to do short sales with. One person. You guys are going to name a woman that you guys all know her brand. I know somebody with no brand that's done 10 more deals than anybody with a brand. Okay. Yeah, a couple of people named a woman. I'm not going to say her name because I'm on a live. She's great, by the way. Okay. A short sale, Marlana. A short sale is where you can't do anything with the house because the bank is owed so much money that you go to the bank and you go, look, man, this house is so upside down and we know you don't want to take the property back. Why don't we just short sell the property, which means you're owed 200 grand. Why don't we just pay you $100,000 and call it good? Okay. Red, this is an interesting thing. So Red says, have you seen the consumer spending report this week? It's crazy. People are spending like crazy. But look at the debt report. Look at the debt report. Look at the credit cards. Okay. You got to look at the credit cards. We've never had more debt ever. Ever. Okay. We've never had more debt. Now, I believe in debt. I just don't believe in revolving credit card debt. I don't have any revolving credit cards. I'll show you the only credit card I carry. I pay it off every single month right here. Platinum American Express, I pay it off every single month. My team pays it off every single month. I use it for everything. I do believe in debt. I think Dave Ramsey is good for the little scaredy babies that don't know how to manage their money. And it's a good thing. Dave Ramsey is for first grade, not even first graders. He's good for kindergartners who can't manage their money. He's really, really good. Okay. But once you want to actually get out and start making money, that is not what Dave Ramsey teaches. He does not teach you how to make money. He teaches you how to save money. Okay. So skills that we have already learned in this challenge. Has everybody joined a squad? Has everybody networked? That is a skill. Okay. Give me a yes. Everybody part of a team and everybody happy about it. Okay. Give me a yes if you are happy about it. Give me a thank you for the sub 2 students that are in here helping you guys out. Give me a thank you. Okay. Provide some love to everybody that is coming in here and helping you guys out and giving you some framework. This is our attempt so you guys don't spend money on a mentorship. You guys don't go spend money on a bunch of things. You guys learn skills so you can start paying bills with this stuff. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody in sub 2. Thank you to Christian. Thank you to Carolyn. How did you guys like Carolyn? Did she come up on the screen yesterday? I missed her. How'd she do? All right. So here's the good thing. Okay. Think about my multifamily, right? We talked about multifamily and what's going to happen to the multifamily world. You know, what's amazing is with Carolyn, I have a 3% fixed rate for 50 years. You think I'm pretty solid there? Okay. I also have another 40 unit fixed rate, 3% interest rate for 50 years. You think I'm pretty good there? Okay. I have another 256 unit on seller finance fixed rate. You think I'm pretty good there? All right. No matter what. And guess what? How many investors' money did I raise for those deals? 0. I raised $0 for those because of the way I structured them. $0. So even if those multifamilies teeter down a little bit, am I worried about the value of a property if I don't end up selling it? Or do I care more about the cash flow? All about the cash flow, right? Which is another skill set you have to learn. You have to learn how to manage your money. You have to learn how to do bookkeeping. You have to learn how to say, oh my gosh, we've got 50 grand that came in this month. Where do we spend that? Or do we go on a trip on a yacht, right? Oh, I did that, Gilbert. I just did that. He says, you should do undercover boss to see how your team is doing. I do that every time I go to a multifamily. Okay. How does one make it a fixed rate? Well, Marco, I negotiated that. Marco, you don't know creative finance. We're not going to teach creative finance in the Elephant Challenge, unfortunately. So the seller is the bank. So I negotiate directly with the bank. I don't have to go to a literal bank. All right. Okay. Then out of my hundreds of sub 2 and seller finance deals, single family, how many of them do I have adjustable rate mortgages on? Hundreds. I think I have 5. I think I have 5 deals that are adjustable rate mortgages. You think I'm fine? You think the economy can take me down? Now, when you first start, what I tell my students is you should have 1 adjustable rate mortgage for every 20 fixed that you have. Okay. So you go have 20 fixed sub 2s or seller finance deals, and then it's okay for you to have 1 adjustable rate mortgage. Okay. Riley Stevens says, why? Well, because adjustable rates means the rate will adjust. And if the rate will adjust, then you don't cash flow, right, Riley? Does that make sense, Riley? Man, some of you guys are so basic. I gotta remind myself, I gotta teach. Should I do a vocabulary challenge? Though all we do is just vocabulary for you guys. Adjustable rate mortgage is literal. Like there's no hidden meaning behind that. The rate adjusts. Okay, what does that mean? It means that when interest rate goes up, Miriam, have you been watching the news and how everybody keeps talking about rates keep going up? Are you watching that in the news? Miriam? Okay, cool. So what that means is that if I bought a home and I went to Wells Fargo, okay, and Wells Fargo says, hey, I can give you a really good rate, but it's going to be adjustable. That means that we will follow whatever the Fed is doing. That means everybody across the country that have, let's Google that. I wonder how many people have a adjustable rate mortgage in the country. What do you guys think? Anybody want to take a guess on this? How many adjustable rate mortgages are there? 40% of Americans are saying they would get an adjustable rate mortgage. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so 12%, which is really, really good. 12% is good compared to 2006. Okay. 2006, it was like 80%. Ooh, look at this too. Number of offered adjustable rate mortgages are up 230%. Isn't that scary? So what's happening, here's what's happening is that these lenders are losing. Who in here? Joan Haynes says why? Okay. We can explain that for a couple minutes, but I got to get to my wife here in a little bit. Okay. I'm going to stop asking. We're not doing a general Q&A, guys. So let's not do so much general Q&A. Joan, how you doing? She's like, dang it, Paste. I didn't know you were going to bring me up here. Joan, if you talk, I should be able to hear you. Joan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I got a lot of hands raised. I'm going to do 2 questions. Guys, don't just go and rush it to get your hand raised. Do not do that because I'm not going to do Q&A. Stephen Rogers, what do you got for me?
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
I'm brand new to sub 2. So I just joined. I'm in the program about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm going through the course as fast as possible. And it's amazing. I want to really dive in deep. So
Stephen, the fastest way to become really good at anything is to be around people that are doing the deal. So spend more time networking with successful sub 2 students than you do actually taking the course.
okay. Yeah, so I've had I posted in the Facebook group, so I've connected with a bunch of people. So they've been on Zoom calls and they've been calling me on the phone. So they're trying to help lead me in the right direction.
There you go. That's what's great about the sub 2 community right there.
Yeah, so my goal is after this challenge to do my first deal. So shoot, I'll even try to hop on a call today if possible.
We'll put you on there.
Okay.
Still put your hand back up. I'll put you up there. All right, guys. So if you guys want to have Christian and I'm going to try and bring Quijano and Christian back up here. Joe Edwards says question pace. Okay, Joe, let's see what you got. It better be a good one, Joe. With the name Joe, that's a very serious name. Better be a serious question.
Hey, Pace.
Hey, Joe.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the call or taking the question. And just appreciate you giving a lot of the time and whatnot. Brand new to
course,
sub
yeah.
brand new to sub two, wife and I. Christian has been amazing. Abdul has been amazing. A lot of people have been great. Been at some networking events, fortunately, but very specifically because I know we're short on time. I've been on the doors. My wife and I have been on the doors, and we have a very specific one where the property has about 700K. We're 700K. It's 157. It's at 517 in the rears. And I'm really trying to help this family because Robbie, his dad died. He has the same name as his dad, and it's
Okay.
part of a trust. And he has a trust from 2008, and then also a trust from.
Okay, so
2004.
Joe,
Yep.
let me just get the basic stuff. So you got
Sure.
There's a $700,000 existing loan.
No, the house is worth, I would conservatively 700,000.
Okay, so the house
And-
is worth 700. They owe
Yep.
500.
They owe 157, 517 are in the rears.
Okay, so
With-
how much do they owe total?
157. We'll call it 158.
Okay, so you're telling me something wrong, Joe, but this is
Okay.
okay. This is okay. This is a learning lesson.
Yep.
If they only owe 157, then why do they need your help? Why couldn't they just sell the house on the market for $700,000 and wipe out that 157?
Now I'm understanding what you're saying.
What is going on is they probably owe 500,000 plus $150,000 in arrears.
The house is free and clear. I did look at that because his dad paid it off.
If
from what I'm
if
being
it's
told.
free and clear, then they wouldn't owe $157,000.
Okay. They took out a home equity loan.
Okay, so it's not free and
yeah.
clear.
Understood. Okay.
Okay, so they got a home equity line of credit for $157,000, or the home equity line of credit is behind $157,000.
It's behind $157,000.
Okay, so what does that tell you, Joe? That tells you that they owe a lot of money on the house, because if the house is behind $157,000, let's just say that they're behind 2 years.
Mhm.
Okay, that means that their payment on that would be at least $8,000 a month in order for it to be 2 years behind.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so what are they wanting to stay in the house or move out of the house? What's their problem?
They want to stay in the house.
Okay, we don't.
But they're
Here's
willing-
here's
but
the
they're
thing,
willing to
Joe. We
sell.
don't help people that want to stay in houses, because that's the cardinal. That's one of the cardinal sins of creative finance.
But he's willing to sell.
He's willing to sell
Because-
and then let you rent the property back to him, correct?
That's what he's up for anything right now, just because they do have a trustee sale date of 3/20. And I spent about 6 hours with them, just
Okay.
kind of hearing their situation and whatnot. So
You see a lot of our experienced sub 2 students have been in the program for a couple of years are all saying, yikes, don't do that. Stay away from it. Stay away. So cardinal sin there's 10 commandments of creative finance. And one of the commandments of creative finance is never buy a property from a homeowner and rent it back to them unless you're a multi-millionaire and you like lawsuits.
thank you for that. Thank you for that. He is he is also willing to sell, but it's not something to not live in the property or, make it a creative finance deal potentially. We're just trying to explore the options.
So option number one in his situation is, why hasn't he done a loan mod? That probably means that nobody has any income in that household.
Yep.
Ooh, so here we go. We're basically trying. Has anybody ever tried to help a drug addict get off drugs? Nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Nearly impossible. Have you ever experienced that, Joe, in your life?
No, I haven't.
Nobody in your life has ever been like on alcohol or anything that you're like, I need to get you off of this and in recovery?
Yeah, I've known people, but not family members. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you have somebody that's not willing to work, and think about this. Think about the type of person that's willing to go get a home equity line of credit. It must have been that their parent, I'm just making this story up because I've been doing this for so long. They must have had the house paid off by their parents, and somebody in the family went and got a home equity line of credit so they could live on the home equity line of credit instead of working and getting a job.
Okay.
They then have been living on that line of credit, not paying it, when they ended up running out of the money, basically a little Ponzi scheme going on. So the person you're sitting there negotiating with is a phenomenal liar. You'll hear one of my famous quotes is buyers are liars and sellers are worse.
Or worse. Yeah, I've heard
And
that.
this
I've
is
only
exact-
it's only been a few weeks, but
yeah. So the sellers, like the best liar that I've ever met was a grandma that, like, the kind of grandma you would think, like Granny Smith that bakes cookies for the neighbors. They are the best liars. They've been around for so long. They're so good at lying. Oh no, I'm not talking to any other investors. Oh no, I'm just in this really hard situation. Oh my gosh, let's work this out. Meanwhile, you leave, they get on the phone with somebody else. Oh yeah, you're the only person I'm talking to. And like literally that whatever is going on in this guy's world, he's lying to you about whatever. And that doesn't mean there's not a deal here. It just means you have to understand that there is a formal structure to the way these things go. So he's behind on a line of credit. He's behind $157,000, which means he's got a massive line of credit, which means he's also not been working for a couple of years and stealing from the bank and justifying it with telling you guys all the hardships and problems and issues they've been having in their personal life that justifies why it's okay that they're so far behind.
yeah, and he had a stroke and some other things, but that's a lot of other details to the story. But
of course there are,
How would
and those
you
are all
approach- how
details
would
of the
you
story
approach
that bad things happened to him, bad people did things to them, and they, it wasn't their problem and it wasn't their fault, and they've got a really bad story, I'm sure, right?
yeah, completely.
Yeah, you think I've heard maybe one or two of these?
Probably millions. So that's why, ironically enough, before we signed up, it's my wife and I, we actually, I just was watching your videos, and that the 8 ways that you listed with the TPP guy, I forget his name, but
Right. Yeah.
I
Brett
literally,
Daniels.
you guys are amazing. So what we did was we just literally took that video and writing on Post-it notes exactly like the 7 ways, and
So
then we
good.
just started. We were like, I was like, screw it, we're just going on these tours because that's what you say to do, and that's what we've been doing. We did lock up a deal already, or not, I should say lock it up, but we helped out another family that she's her husband died. He was a police officer. She's an amazing woman, and everything's working out really good for that one. But this one, I just my heart goes out to him, and my wife wants to say something, if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah.
She's like, you know how it is, I'm sure. So go ahead.
Hi, Faith. This is Melissa. Thank you for all of your
Hi,
features
Melissa.
and
How you doing?
support. Okay, so here's my question.
Melissa, I think you got muted somehow.
The sons. Oh, really?
Okay, you're back. You guys must be walking around and you're like transferring
Yeah,
towers or something.
Yeah, we went to a door. we're on the doors this afternoon, so that's why.
So basically, my question is,
I can't hear you again, Melissa. You guys are like the second you start talking, it cuts out.
Pace is that?
You're cutting in and out. Wherever you were 3 or 4 minutes ago explaining things to me,
Okay.
It was good.
I'm literally.
Joe, come see me tomorrow morning. I've got a early morning early. Here's the thing, okay? If you're a sub-2 student and you're coming in here into the free challenge and asking me questions, I adore you and I love you. But let's go to the sub-2 calendar just real quick, okay? And if you're a non-sub-2 student, you'll throw up at how much support our sub-2 students get. Watch this, okay? Check this out. I don't know why my assistant loves to do this. She goes into my calendar and she changes it from the day to what I want to what she wants. It's not okay with me. Okay, check this out. Everything in green is a sub-2 Zoom. Everything in green, all of these, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the morning. Boom, look at all this. Every single week, we have 25 Zooms a week. 25 Zooms a week. By the way, sub-2 students, you guys need to show up for this meeting tomorrow. Okay. This 100 deal program, I'm launching a new program that we're going to start doing if you go check this out, starting on March 2nd, every Thursday going forward from March 2nd, Abraham Gray and I are going to be doing a deal or no deal. And I want to partner with 2 students per week on a deal. I want to buy 2 deals a week from students. And I want to do 100 deals this year with students right here during that 2-hour time frame. So Joe, you're asking me a question, but you got to remember, I know you've already gotten a lot of support and love from Sub 2, but look at all these Zooms that we do every single day. This is a typical week for us. Like I've got my family nights. That's me doing Q&A. I've got my 5 a.m. on Saturday that I do. Molly comes in on Wednesday morning. And then starting in about 30 days, every single day, we're going to have somebody doing underwriting 8 hours, probably not 8 hours, but 6 hours every single day. So in about a month, you're going to have underwriting 6 hours a day, talking about your deal, if it's a good deal, all of those types of things. You will literally have 14 hours a day of live support as a Sub 2 student for the rest of your life. So Joe, just because you didn't get your answer here with me, just come into Sub 2 Zooms and you'll be able to get some help in there. Honestly, people ask me like, why is Sub 2 so dope? Because I've worked on it for 3 years and we've got the greatest leaders in the whole entire planet helping me run it. It's the best. Okay, one final question. Sorry, Joe, we had to kick you out. Justin Pickle. I bet he tells people his last name is Pickle. I would tell people it's Pickle. Justin, what's up, bro? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, Justin. You lost the opportunity. Vincent Pfeiffer. Let's see what you got here. Vincent Pfeiffer, how you doing? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, Hi, Kiki Shrugs. Wow, Kiki Shrugs wanted to come in and talk to me. Hold on, let me get you up here. Hi, Kiki. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, hi.
One of my favorite human beings on the planet. How you doing?
I'm amazing, amazing. I miss you guys so much. I'm working all day long and I just kind of miss so much of the good stuff, but I don't
We
even
love
know.
you. You're one of the best people on the planet. How are foreclosures going? You seeing a lot more foreclosures already?
I am busy. Yes, there's so many foreclosures going on right now. It's super busy time for us. So
You got people on your team you're hiring from Sub 2 or what's going on?
yeah, I have most of my people are Sub 2. But I think I'm gonna have to take on a couple more people because they're definitely, it's getting really busy.
Guys, you guys can find Kiki Shrugs in the Sub 2 Facebook group. Okay. Go into the Sub 2 Facebook group. You guys can find Kiki Shrugs in there if you guys need to hire her. Kiki, if somebody wants to hire work for you, can they find you in the Sub 2 Facebook group if they want to get hired?
Yes. Actually, I was getting ready to post. The thing is with me, I'm slow to hire because it requires a specific
Skill
type
set.
of personality and personality. I mean, we basically we get hired to do what nobody else wants to do. Banks are not easy always. So
Love it. Kiki, are you getting ready for short sales or are you not going to do those?
So I have people that like another team that I'm teamed up with. So I send them over there because I mostly loan mods, and stopping auctions has been really, really big for me and my team. But yeah, short sales. I mean, I prepped the file for the short sale process.
Love it. Guys, Kiki
Yeah, the thing
Shrugs,
is-
one
yeah,
of the
and-
best leaders in Sub 2 we've ever seen. Everybody in Sub 2, give Kiki Shrugs some love. She's so great.
Thank
We love
you.
her. I wish I saw you more often, but I know you're just busy.
No, no, you'll see me. I'm gonna start following wherever you go. I'm just gonna book a flight and come out.
Oh, come on. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the phone call we had. I don't know when that was, a year and a half ago or so. And
It was November, end of November,
end of November 2021.
21. Yeah.
2021. So a year and a half, roughly a year and a half ago. And you were like, I'm afraid to quit my job. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to blow up. You're going to be the coolest freaking thing you're going to be the coolest kid on the playground.
Do you know I don't have a job anymore?
I know that.
Amazing.
I know.
Amazing. Who
I know.
knew? You did this.
I helped create an alley for you, but you are the one that threw the ball, which is amazing.
No, I'm so grateful. I mean, honestly, sub 2 was the best. I don't even know. Like I'm so blessed. I can't even describe. Just you changed my life. Like you, the team, the group, everybody, leadership, everyone. It's amazing.
We love you.
No, I love you guys so much.
Okay, I'll let you go. Guys, Kiki shrugs. Kiki, you and I should do a Zoom together in the next couple of weeks when I get back after my next travel.
Yeah, you have my number. Just
let's reintroduce you to the.
You know that.
We'll reintroduce you to the new sub 2 students you haven't met yet.
Awesome. Yeah.
You're
Love
the
it.
best.
Thank you. Love you. Love you
too.
guys.
Man, we have the best freaking community. My gosh. People ask me, like, how do you do these long lives all the time? I'm like, because I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm hanging out with my homies. You get to just be around my people. My best friends are right here with me. I freaking love you guys. It's the best. All right, let's get started. Let me see where my wife's at. Okay, I think she was breastfeeding and letting the baby take a nap. Let's see where she's at. If she's not ready, then what we'll do is we'll start calling foreclosures, teach you guys some sales skills. All right. Hold on a second. I got a realtor I'm working a deal with right now.
What's up, Pace?
What up, homie? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Really good. You out and about?
I just stepped out of the office right now, but I wanted to chat with you about that deal in New Braunfels real quick.
Okay. Your seller having cold feet?
It's not that he has cold feet. He just has like a few questions. So, long story short, he's getting orders to leave to Japan. And he hasn't got that affirmative date yet. It could be any time in March. So I was saying, hey, let's lock this up. This is a great opportunity for you because I doubt your house will sell since it's in a new construction neighborhood. And my thing was, I was like, hey, if possible, let's try and get a lease back to at least March 31st. You know, you're leaving in March sometime.
Yeah, I'll do a lease back. Yeah.
So I was seeing if we could maybe do a Zoom, and he was like, can you just send the contract and let's go over it? And then from there, I'll feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. I can do me, Molly, you, we can do a Zoom with your seller. No problem. I'd love to do that.
He's available, I guess now or until probably about 6. I don't know what he's doing this evening. He just said, yeah, give me a call back once you hear from Pace.
Can we do it?
Got on live.
Can we do it tomorrow? I'm on a big YouTube live.
Yeah. What time tomorrow works?
Hold on. Bro, you going to try and do like 2 deals a month with me or what?
Oh, try it, brother.
Those deals are out there, man.
I know. I'm trying to tackle homes that are built in 2020 and forward, and just tackling in neighborhoods that have a bunch of for rent, and just maybe contacting the agents and seeing if they want to do it or team up or whatever the case may be.
Okay, cool. I can do, I know you don't want to hear this one, but I can do early, like 8 o'clock your time, or I can do 2 o'clock your time.
8 or 2. Okay, let me get with him and see what works best. And then you want me to shoot you a text?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Bye. By the way, when you guys think that I don't work with real estate agents, I do build relationships with real estate agents. I will make $1 million with that one real estate agent this year doing nothing but sub 2 deal. Sub 2 deal. Ryan Salazar, great question. Last question I'll answer and we'll get started, guys. Has this been helpful this morning, guys? I'm sorry, this morning, this afternoon, has this been helpful? You guys learning stuff? Ryan, what's up, dog? How you doing?
Hey, Pace, what's going on, brother?
Really good. Hey, great question. So here's the difference between a carryback, or not a carryback, but a lease back, and what I was talking about with Joe. Okay. Joe has a seller who will sell on sub 2, but wants to live in the house as a tenant. My seller says, I want to close escrow because I don't know when I'm going to get deployed in the Army, whether it's the March or April. I just need a temporary lease back for 60 days. I have no intention of staying in the house. And they'll do like a 60-day rent back for like 30, 60 days. All day long, I'll do that kind of stuff. But I will not do a long-term rent with that tenant.
Okay. Yeah,
they need to know where they're going.
So structure-wise, is it the same as, I guess, doing a regular lease, or is it more like a short-term rental? Is that
no? What you actually do? I've got another one in Hawaii right now that I'm doing. A sub 2 deal in Hawaii at a 2% seller finance, 2% sub 2 deal in Hawaii on an acre in Hawaii. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't know why anybody's doing cash deals, but whatever. So the 2%, she's like, I need a month to kind of figure out where I'm going. And I need money now before I can go find a place, right? So I'm giving her 25 grand and she's walking away from the house, okay? And at least we're in negotiation. I don't have the deal under contract, okay? So she is like, I need $25,000, which is a little higher than I wanted to pay, but I'm okay with it because of the interest rate. And so I told her this morning, I said, I'll give you 15 grand when we close escrow. And then when you move out in 30 days, I'll give you the remaining $10,000. Okay. So same thing with this seller. The seller, the one that Ryan just talked to me about, that's a house in New Braunfels, Texas. Okay. New Braunfels, Texas. So just right outside of San Antonio. That seller's getting, I think, $17,000. And so what I'll do is tomorrow I'll say, hey, I'll give you 10,000 now and then 7,000 when you leave. So you give them a reason to leave, and you have also money you hold back just in case you have to evict them.
nice? I like that.
That make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Moses says, Moses Camacho, Randy Man Savage. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys don't want to turn this into a freaking Q&A. Okay. Do you guys like that when somebody's actually doing a challenge, you actually get to learn real things? Isn't that amazing? Have you guys been on a challenge in like the last year that you're just sitting there and you're like, when are you going to teach me anything besides stupid mindset crap? Where like have you guys ever seen me tell somebody that they ask me a question, I don't know the answer to it? It's ridiculous. It's like people that are out there doing real estate challenges or business challenges don't actually do any sort of Q&A that can answer anybody's specific question. It's just a bunch of like hype, just hype for 5-6 days. It's just absolutely waste of everybody's time. Okay. So the reason why I don't want to buy a house sub 2 and then let the seller rent it back from me is, think about this. If I take over a property subject to, what am I getting with that house? I'm getting an interest rate, right? So I'm getting interest rate, and I'm also getting a payment that's fixed. And that payment is the payment that the seller was used to paying, right? So what happens if that seller lets me take that rate and that payment? Now I'm the owner. Can I just charge the seller to rent the property back at the same exact dollar amount? No, I've got to raise his payment, right? So now think about the psychology of somebody who just let you take over their house, subject to. Okay. They do this, by the way, Chad. They do it all the time. Okay. In the very beginning, they will say to you, oh my gosh, I'm in a bad situation. Yes, just please let me stay in the house. Just let me please stay in the house. So you buy the house subject to, They don't trash it. That's not the thing that happens, Sharon. It's not that them trashing it. It's that they get so upset that you are now the owner of a property that they are paying more money on than they used to, and all of the pain goes away. Okay? All of the pain goes away. I'm trying to use better analogies in my life, but sometimes I go off the cuff a little bit. I've got this really, James Edison. Am I sure? James, are you sure? James, you must have done a lot of deals, bro. Okay. Are you sure? When you give a mouse a cookie, there you go. I like that. So, what happens is, so James, why would you say why I'm sure? Okay. Harshit Gupta, my biggest mistake in real estate. He says, what's your biggest mistake in real estate? I'll tell you right now. The biggest mistake in real estate is thinking I needed to know everything before I made money. That was the biggest mistake. 100%. I would sit there for 7 years doing fix and flips for other people as a contractor, and I thought I needed to know everything. Okay? I thought I needed to know everything, and I did not. Okay? So, okay, so Michael says, how can I target foreclosures if I'm in Maryland? So we did this yesterday. Did anybody come in here today? We've got, I think, about 2,500 people in here right now between Zoom and YouTube. Did anybody just come in here today that needs us to show how to find foreclosures very quickly? Wow. A lot of people just came in here today. You knuckleheads. Is it because you don't work on Fridays? Is that what happens? All right, cool. Let me call my wife, see where she's at. We've got a foreclosure seller that we want to reach out to. Okay. And we'll see what we can do to help this seller out. But I got to see if my wife is up for it. Who's watched my wife stop a foreclosure? Is that maybe a skill that would make you guys money if you guys learned how to actually stop or postpone a foreclosure? Write that down on your skills that you need to obtain list, okay?
Hi, you've reached Lauren.
Okay, my wife is with the baby. I'm going to let her have some more time. Is this the last day of the challenge? Yes, Samsung. Bro, change your name on the Samsung. You ask great questions, but your name is Samsung. We got to change that name, okay? Tammy Sampson says, Pace, how do you comp land? You comp land. Land is based 20% of the ARV of the house. So Tammy, let me explain that to you just real quick. Tammy Sampson. I wish my last name was Compton, like the other Tammy Compton. I'd make some sort of like Compton show name. Tammy, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Great
cool.
question. So here's how you do it, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you're doing like big plots of land, you need to go find Matt Rogers in my community. Okay, I've got a handful of really, really good land developers in my community, in the sub-2 community. But if you're just looking at like infill lots in a neighborhood, okay, I'll give you a good example. I did a 50 house development in a neighborhood in Whitman, Arizona, probably 3-4 years ago. Okay.
Okay.
And this is pretty typical. You should be staying away from land. You should never do land. Okay. Unless it's these types of deals without a developer comping the property for you. I'll tell you what that means here in just a minute. Okay. So right here, I did a 50, you'll see that you see all these houses here that there's like infill lots that are empty, like right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Right. All these infill lots that are empty. So when you see an infill lot like this, what you're going to do is you want the land to be 20% of whatever the ARV is of the houses that you're going to build in that neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that this house sold fully. Well, let's see this one right here. This is a brand new house right here. Okay. These are actually the houses I built. So these are the infill houses that we built. So let's say you go and buy these lots, okay?
Okay.
You're going to look at my house and say, wow, that sold, the house on Walnut, 32112 sold for $300,000.
Okay.
The max amount you would want to pay for that lot right there is $60,000 is what a developer will pay. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay. So that means if the developer is going to pay 60 grand for that, you, Tammy, you're going to want to wholesale, right? Because you're not trying to develop, I would imagine.
No, well, this one's a weird situation because I own this property.
Okay.
And I actually reached out to the neighbor because I thought he might want to sell. And
Okay.
turns
Yeah. That's
out he actually
usually that's the
asked me
best
if
buyer.
I wanted to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he really wants my property instead, which I'm okay to sell it to him.
Where's your
But-
property?
Indiana.
Okay. I was going to say sell it to me, but I don't want to buy in Indiana. I have a lot of students that buy in Indiana. It's a great area. It's just not a place I buy.
Yeah.
What about your
So
other neighbor?
There isn't one.
So
There's
do you
a lake on the
have
backside, and this is 3 lots, so it's just over half an acre.
all combined? Is it all basically all connecting?
Yeah.
And you would sell the house and all 3 lots to him all at the same time?
Yeah, but the house is of no value. I have to take it down. So I was going to buy his property and then basically develop his property along with mine and then put homes.
Mm.
But he wants the property instead because he's taken his house down on his side and
Okay.
he wants my lot to basically expand his farm because he
Got
wants it for grazing and stuff like that. So I'm okay to sell it because I don't need it. I have 6 other properties there. So I can sell it to him, but I don't know how to, like, if I put a house there, it's going to cost me more to put a house than what I could probably get, even though it's 3 lots.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many creative ways you could do this. You don't sound like somebody who's in distress.
No,
Okay.
that's why I don't need to sell it, but I'm okay to sell it.
What's his strategy? Is he going to live there?
No, he wants it for farming and put his horses over there.
Okay, got it. And
I tried to
farming
get
means
a
he'll make
number
money
from
or
him,
no?
But he wouldn't give me a number, and I said, okay, well, let me figure it out. And I'll call
So
you back
this
on
is
Monday.
this is where creative finance really, really comes in play here. Okay. So like, what would you want for that land? Top of your mind.
Personally, I'm okay for selling it to him for what I have into it because I just bought it a couple of months ago.
For how much?
15.
Okay, easy. This is great. What I would do if it was me, have you seen what I did with my F-150? I sold a $24,000 F-150 for $47,000.
No, but I'm interested. My husband has an F-150.
Okay, so I just did this. I'm going to post on the YouTube channel. I just did a whole Zoom with my students with the paperwork and how to do it themselves and all that kind of stuff. And so I would do the same thing with the land. What I would do is I would take that land and I'd go to your neighbor and go, I'll sell it to you for 20 grand on seller finance. You give me $5,000 down and I want 5% interest on the other $15,000 with a 10-year balloon or a 5-year balloon or a 3-year balloon.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'm doing that with another property. So that's a good idea. I didn't think about doing it with land.
There you go. The 50, look, guys, look at my beautiful wife, by the way, right here. You can see her. This is the hair that I fell in love with a long time ago. So
pretty.
she came in, she's all decked out in overalls, almost like she lives in Indiana. And Laura has 3 acres of a parcel that she wants to sell her finance to, right? Okay. So Tammy, that 50 home development that we did up in Whitman, that's what we did. I went to the seller and I said, ironically, the seller wanted 15 grand for the properties as well. He had 50 lots. And what I told the seller is I said, hey, you want 15 grand at 50 lots. That's $750,000 that I have to come up with right now to go develop these houses. That's a lot of money. And I'm a small to medium sized investor. I'm just kind of, getting my roots really built in. It would help me if you seller financed these lots and let me pay you when I find my buyer after I sell the property. And the seller's like, why would I do that? And I go, because I'll pay you $16,000 per lot. And he says, okay, I'll do it. And so for an extra 50 grand, he seller financed, no down payment, no payments for the whole development process. He waited for us to pay him when our buyers came and brought their money to pay the houses off. So there's 1,000 different ways you can structure a land deal. And that's the way that I would do yours, is like, don't just say, hey, I want 15 grand and I just want what I got out of it. Make it easy for him. Like all he's going to hear is 5 grand out of his pocket. That's all he's going to hear. Sell it to him for 25 grand, right? So whatever it is, say 25 grand, $5,000 down, or 25 grand, 2,500 down, but I want 4% interest or 5% interest on the remaining balance. You just make me a monthly payment and I want the rest of it paid off in 5 years.
Oh, that's like a really good idea, because he's got to pay to take the house down on his side. So that would probably work. Otherwise, I'm thinking he may not. So
yeah, because
I'm
he's
cool with
sitting
going that
there,
way, so
right?
that's perfect.
This is why cash deals, I tell people all the time, cash is the worst way to buy anything for both the seller and the buyer, because what the buyer has to do, right? Because you're feeling this nervous energy where he's like, give me an offer. And you're like, I don't want to give you an offer, right? So you guys are like playing this game that you play in a negotiations, which is standard. Everybody does that, including me when I'm playing the cash game. But what you can go to him and say, in cash, one of you or both of you have to lose. You lose by selling it at a lower price. He loses by having to come up with cash to pay you that lower price. So it's a lose-lose scenario. Whereas in a creative scenario, he comes in with less cash and he gets to be able to spend the money to tear down the house and get started on the other things. But you have the security of the lot as the seller, right? Seller financing it to him, and you get a higher price and cash flow over a long period of time. If you sold it to him for like $25,000 with $2,500 down with 4% interest, you would probably end up netting $32,000 on that lot. And he would be happier paying that $32,000 than he would pay 15 grand today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that way I can keep the value to the property too. And I noticed that do you normally do shorter times, higher interest, or do you do it longer and little interest?
I don't hold anything short term. I'm a long-term investor. In fact, people come to me and offer me on my houses all the time that have $300,000-$400,000 in equity. I'm like, I don't care about selling this property. I want to keep it long term. So for me, I care about low interest rates and low entry fee. So exactly what this guy's going to care about. I care less about my purchase price, right? Because the value is never, for me, the value is never the purchase price. The value is what I can do with what I bought. And for him, for $2,500 and a monthly payment of, let's say, $150 to you, whatever it is, he can get in there and start farming. He can get in there and start doing his thing at a very low cost. So for him, he's not going to care about the purchase price. I just paid on a deal I bought from Kevin Cho, one of my students, yesterday. I paid 10 grand over retail, and people go, man, you're paying over retail. I'm like, no, I'm not. My tenants are. My tenants are the ones that are going to pay down that debt for me, and the property's going to appreciate. I'm getting tax benefits, and I'm cash flowing $500 a month. What do I care what I paid over value as long as I got into the deal for no money out of my pocket?
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'm starting to go down that road, and I'm like, I'm fine with just holding it for that time period, but most all of them I've been doing is 3 to 5 years, and then I just bump up the interest.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm just curious.
That's where
Okay.
creative finance is like, it's so fun. It's like a video game that never ends. It's like you could structure this literally 1,000 different ways. Whereas like in a cash transaction, it is only one way. You both lose. He has to come up with a bunch of cash. You have to take a lower price. In the creative scenario, you could do what you're saying, where you go, all right, neighbor, I want 5 grand down, 5% interest, or I'll give you 3% interest for the first 3 years. But if you don't pay me off at the end of 3 years, I'm bumping you to 5% interest. And if you don't pay me after 2 more years, I'm bumping you to 7% interest. And if you don't pay it off, then I take the property back.
Oh, I like that even better.
Do you see why people pay
Oh,
to learn from me?
Yes, I like it. Well, I actually just stumbled onto you at that MenaceCon that
Oh,
went
cool.
a couple of weeks ago.
I was the
So
guy
I've
that was
never
talking about
been-
Chat GPT and saying your whole world is going to end.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's step 2. He's step 2. I'm like, okay, I'm learning.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm here. I'm learning.
Yeah. Did anybody learn anything right there? Give Tammy a thank you, everybody. That was a great question.
Thank
I hope,
you.
did anybody take
appreciate it.
notes? Look at that, Tammy. Look at all these people that you gave value today.
That's right. And you saved me having to deal with this all weekend. So that's perfect.
There you go. You
I'm
know,
gonna
the
use it
toughest
on all
part
my
about my
deals.
job is that tomorrow somebody will ask me, hey, Pace, how do I comp land? And I'll have to answer the same question the exact same way. I wish I
It
could
won't be
like,
from me.
I know. It's the hardest thing. I have to act like it's the first time I've ever told this story, but go get the deal done and let us know how
Will
it
do.
goes.
Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. We've got my beautiful wife, Laura Morby, in here hanging out. Okay. People are asking, who are the land guys? Guys, if you want to do land deals, reach out to the Sub2 community. Matt Rogers is absolutely phenomenal at land. He also hangs out with the other 25 land guys inside of Sub2. So go into the free Facebook group for those people that are in the free Facebook group and find Matt Rogers. He'll help you out. Okay. He's actually building, for all you Sub2 students, Matt Rogers is currently putting a syllabus together for a full land like merit badge. So everybody in Sub2 can earn their land merit badge. And you got, Keanu says the landlords. You want to do this in here on my doohickey? What do you want to do? I assumed you were going to be on your own Zoom over on the other side, but I will do whatever you want. You're the boss. Oh, I need to fix that for you then. Okay. All I want you to do, okay, and I'll step away, and I want to control and run everything, so I'm very sorry. What I'm going to do is I will step away. What I want you to do is let's call, does Linda know we're calling? She's ghosting you. All right. Let's call her. All right. Who wants to make some calls to sellers? Let's get Mr. Quijano and Christian Hernandez up on the screen, and let's start getting people to make their first calls to sellers. First calls to sellers. Christian Hernandez and Dan Quijano, let's get up here. Let's get some people making their first phone calls.
Here we go.
There he is. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on, man? They let me in.
Tell me, what is the script that you guys came up with yesterday for everybody?
It was actually really good. We used almost the exact same one that Christian uses and has used to close a lot of deals. And it basically goes, hi, so-and-so. My name is Daniel. I work with people that are having issues with the bank. And I saw that your name came up on my list. So I'm just calling to see how we can help.
I love this so much because, the psychology of this is so good. The psychology, and this is what Quijano teaches, like deep, very, very deep. It's not just, Heather Chapman says it's disarming. It's not just disarming. It's also leaning into the common enemy approach.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, write that down. The common enemy is the bank. I heard you were, okay, here's another way of saying it. Hey, my name is Pace. I saw you haven't been making your payments like a deadbeat. That obviously would not go over well. Okay, so when you guys are asking, how do I reach out to, Freddie Hardy says, can you post that? Can somebody post that and I'll put the side chat on pause?
I'll copy and paste it. I'll copy and paste the whole thing. We even have if they respond with, how did you get my name or what list? We have a thing for that here. So I'm going to post it right now.
Okay, love it. Yeah, you definitely don't. Tim Keegan, he says, you came up on my deadbeat list. That doesn't work, as we already know. So thank you so much. I'm gonna give you co-host too, so you can make a post here. All right. By the way, I'm gonna unmute the chat for just a second. Who's coming March 4th for the Quijano boot camp? I think there was like, I wasn't invited. Oh, that must be because you weren't there. It's going to be at my office, March 4th. It's basically a full day. And they get sandwiches or something. Gluten-free, guys. It's gluten-free, vegan.
What we're doing is we're going to give you peanut butter and jelly. Hold the bread. So you just
got to lick
it off your hands. It'll be
put the link in the side chat. People are saying they want to be on there. We want to be on the. No, it's not virtual. We don't want to do a virtual boot camp. You guys get enough virtual stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I fly around the country. It's why I went through Texas and New Orleans last week. I want to see you guys in person. Okay, Quijano and I want to do stuff in person. Okay, so this is Quijano's boot camp. I will be there, but I am not running it. I will be there. This is Quijano's rodeo, Quijano's show. Okay. Now it's right there in the side chat. Quijano, will you throw the script in there just one more time so I can kind of just pick it apart for a second in a good way?
Copy and paste. There we go.
Hey person, I work with people who are having issues with the bank. Gosh dang it, that's so good. I love that, dude. The psychology of that, because here's what's happening with these people that are in foreclosure. Has anybody ever talked to a seller in foreclosure that didn't blame the bank on something? It's pretty rare. You'll get about 10%, maybe 5%. They're like, hey, I just screwed up. I lost my job because I was showing up late. Christian, do most people just love the fact that you're blaming the bank on their problems?
Yes, they love it. I'm on their side. It's me and them against the bank.
Yeah, the common enemy.
Yep. And that's really what it comes down to. Guys, you don't realize when I say this a lot, and this goes more into a sales training conversation, but a lot of times we think that when we're in sales, it's us versus the person that we're talking to. We got to get them to put down their walls. We got to get them to do what we're saying. Well, if it's you versus them, even if you do a good job and you win, well, by default, what happens? They lose, and nobody likes losing. Right? So if you can create a scenario like Christian did so perfectly in this script where you're not going against them, you're working with them and this big enemy, the bank, now they want to work with you, and it takes that shame of being in a tough situation off the table.
It's so good. So good. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way to help a seller more than through foreclosure. You will hear the worst stories out of any lead you'll ever have in a foreclosure list. Okay. A lot of these people have genuine, like real hardships that are not their fault, but a lot of them, it is their fault, absolutely their fault, but it is not your job to convince them of that. It's your job to convince them to move on to a new chapter of their life. Okay. This script is so simple, so easy. So, Christian, if they say, well, how did you get my phone number?
Yeah, we normally get a list from public records, and that's basically what I told my company usually gets a list from public records, and that's how we find these lists.
Love it. Okay,
yeah,
so
I love the part that you said here, Christian, because you qualified it, right? You said, actually, we found your name on the pre-foreclosure list or the public records list, right? And here's another part, right? It removes the pressure. You said what we've actually found is that a lot of people weren't even aware that they were on this list. So I wanted to call and make sure that didn't happen to you, right? Again, you're removing the shame from the conversation as much as possible. And here's a reality. There's going to be some people who don't know, right? I guarantee you there's somebody out there right now who hasn't paid their mortgage in 8 months and they're like, oh, I'm still under the government's covering it for me. And they're still in 2020. They don't know. And you may be the first person making them aware of this. We got the final. You guys ever play Mike Tyson Punch Out? And you go through all the guys and then you get to the final boss, right? Laura's the final boss in this circumstance to let us know if this script is legit or not.
What do you think about the script? You got to talk here though.
I love it. I mean, I do it totally differently, but I can see how this works.
What do you do? What do you say?
I do the same exact thing that you do. I don't say, "Hey, is Pace home?" or "Hey, can I talk to Pace?" I just assume that it's Pace. So I say, "Hey, Pace, how's it going?" And then I'm like, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid right off. I know you're in foreclosure, and I know I can help you. Please don't hang up on me. You have options. And then that usually makes them defensive. They're usually getting really mad really quickly. And then I say, I don't want you to be embarrassed. This has happened to me. And I wish that I had someone call me like me to give me some options so I didn't end up doing the wrong thing. And so I say stuff like, name me a person in Arizona who hasn't been foreclosed on, hasn't filed bankruptcy, hasn't done a short sale. And the elephant in the room is their embarrassment. So everyone who's in foreclosure is ashamed. And that's why when you work with people in foreclosure, they wait until the very last minute. So you get all these people that are a week or less, usually a day or two before foreclosure, where they actually want to talk to you. So I try to catch them before by making them getting on their side and saying, it's happened to me. It's happened to my dad. It's happened to my family. And if that's not true for you guys, you can take my story. That's one of the sales tactics. If you have something that's really good, but you're like, that's not exactly true for me, you can say something like, that happened in my family. We're a sub-2 family, so it's happened in my family. You're part of our family. So say it's happened in my family. Say whatever you need to say, but I make sure that they understand that I understand where they are. I'll say something like, my dad got foreclosed on and we didn't know where we were going to, if we were going to have somewhere to stay the next night. My dad's going to have to work every day for the rest of his life. He's 70 years old and he's out there with his bags on, still framing houses. So I make sure that they understand how horrible it is. And the other thing to keep in mind when you're calling these people is every single one of these people has done everything in their ability to fix the problem, and they haven't. So if they've got a friend or a family member, if they could take out a loan, even if it's like something really horrible, like a title loan against their car, they've done everything. They've gone through their savings. So they really are at the end of their proverbial rope. And if you can remove the embarrassment by saying, it's happened to me, I understand, I know how you feel, I know how scary it is. And then that usually gets people to calm down and then listen to me. And my whole goal for this conversation is to get in front of their faces. So I try to either get them to the office, get inside their house, wherever they'll meet me, Starbucks, just so we can talk. And usually by then, if I get someone to meet me in person, I will get the deal. I bat perfect after that, So if I can get them to meet me, I'm good.
I'm making a summary here, Laura, because I love so much what you guys just said. And if you guys notice emojis here in the chat, if you noticed that these were two different approaches, but they were also very similar in their own
super
right.
similar. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually writing a summary here, which I think is super important. And I want to talk about this. Find common ground and demonstrate that you're there to help.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't just say, I'm here to help you. I say, emphasis. I emphasize the next word. I know I can help you. I actually say it just like that. I don't just say, I think I can help you. I really would like to meet you, or I know I can help you. I say, I know I can help you, because I am so damn confident. I know I can help this person. So I am really direct. I don't try to build, there is no rapport building in this, because if they're on this list, they've been called 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 times. And if they actually picked up, good for you, because you probably can't even leave a voicemail because their voicemail is probably full. And they probably don't even want to listen to them because they know it's a lot of, debt collectors, because if their mortgage is behind, more than likely they might be behind on car payments, credit cards, medical bills, whatever. So if they actually answered, I'm zero, like, hey, how are you doing today? Do you having a good day? Oh, I'm sure you're getting called a lot. I don't even do that. I just say, I know you're in foreclosure and I know exactly how you feel and you have options and I know I can help you.
So I love this a lot, guys. So let's get into this for a second here, because a lot of times I think people have this misunderstanding of sales, right? When they hear sales, they think of like, you know, a greasy guy with like a crooked tie standing on a car lot. How many of you guys get repulsed at the idea of sales because that's what comes into your head? Throw some emojis on there if that's what comes into your mind.
Oh yeah.
Right. And a lot of people do. So what you say is, I'm not good at sales, or I don't like sales. I don't want to be that person. Right.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that's not sales. That is a version of sales, right? But you have, you know, sleazy versions of anything, right? So you can't compare yourself to the worst case scenario. For me, here's what I think sales is, right? This may be a paradigm shift for a lot of you guys. I don't think sales is sleazy, you know, let me get you to your lowest common denominator. Watch your hands, Pace. She's married, bro. But here's what I think sales is. And this is the summary of the whole course. Everything I teach, it comes down to this. Sales at its core is this, guys. It's one, learning how to understand yourself, learning how to understand other people, and then using good communication to bridge that gap, right? When you understand your people and understand yourself, good communication will fill all of these different things. So look at what Laura just did. Look at the summary. Two completely different approaches. Here is the universals. One, you address the elephant in the room. Get it out the way, right? We're not here to play around, right? Two, disarm them and remove the shame. Three, find the common ground and demonstrate that you're there to help and are capable of helping. And if you think about what Laura just said and what Christian just said in the script, it's very, very similar. All of those things are present in both approaches. And you said something, Laura, where you're like, I don't really worry about building rapport. A lot of people think rapport is, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? How about them Jets, right?
How's the weather? Did you watch the Super Bowl? What'd you think about Rihanna?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I would argue they don't care at all. Nobody
They're
cares.
going to hang up on you.
I got a salesman call me today, ask me how I was doing. I was hung up. You don't care how I'm doing. Stop it, dude. You're wasting my time, right? But here's the thing. I would argue that you are building rapport, because I would argue that trust is the greatest version of rapport. And your intro gains their trust, which is far better than any other good line will get you.
And credibility, trust and credibility. Keanu talks about this all the time, trust and credibility. And if you are about your business and you're calling them to solve their problem immediately rather than dilly-dallying, they will see the credibility and the fact that you operate like a professional.
Mm-hmm. I do want to touch on something where we were talking about sleazy salespeople. And this is something you taught me. And this was like 10 years ago. I was like 22. And I am not a salesperson by nature. I'm awkward, I'm shy, I'm introverted. It's really hard for me sometimes to articulate what I'm saying because I stumble over my words. So he told me that I need to get over it and that everyone is a salesperson, whether you like to admit you are or not. So no matter what you're doing, you're a salesperson. So even if you're not working and you're a woman, you're still putting on your makeup and doing your eyelashes and curling your hair to sell yourself to whoever you're trying to attract. Back when he told me this, I was a real estate agent, obviously, but I also worked at Nordstrom in the lingerie department. And one of the things that I had to do is like, even if I don't really, that is quote unquote a retail job, but it was just more for fun, you know? But there was still like things that I had to do. I had to ask people if they wanted to sign up for the Nordstrom reward, system, if they wanted to get a debit card, if they wanted to get a credit card. While I'm bringing bras in, I'm also bringing in the matching panties. While I'm bringing that in, I say, oh, here, we got this really cute pajama. I just brought it in, or we got this really cute, bathrobe just in case you need a new robe. So you're always a salesperson, no matter what you're doing. Even when I worked at the bank, I still had to ask people if they wanted to open a credit card. So
hold on. It's even more general than that, right? So my wife is right, but think about this. My transaction coordinator, you would think she's not a salesperson because somebody hires my transaction coordination company before they talk to my transaction coordinator. Mm-hmm. So where did the sale? Selling her service, doing good service. but the sale was already made, right? But what is she really selling? Is she's selling the next service by the way she treats them, by the way she speaks, the way she handles my existing client base. The best salesperson you will ever have on your team is an existing happy customer. So my team making my customers happy actually amplifies my sales. And so when people are sitting there going, oh, I'm not in sales. Oh, yes, you are. Everybody is in sales. My graphic designers is in sales. My editors in sales. My acquisition people actually make less money than my transaction coordination team does, because my transaction coordination team keeps the deal together. Think about that. And so you guys think of, this is what I love about what Quijano teaches, especially the boot camp. It breaks people, the first 2 hours of that boot camp, watching people's entire concept of what sales is, remove out their ears, right? It is so cool. It just oozes out of their ears. It's like the old concept, the old belief goes away. And they're like, oh my gosh, sales is like the greatest thing on planet Earth versus what I used to think it was sleazy. So, yes, love this.
Yeah. And to go back to something too, this is really stupid, but Nordstrom is a family owned company, and where Pace is saying you want to sell your next service, you want to sell your whatever. Nordstrom's like really, they didn't teach us much, but one of the things that they did teach us is they've done scientific studies that customers are happy leaving having bought something rather than buying nothing. So like they've done studies that if you walk through Nordstrom, even if you're like, I'm like, say Pace is following me around and I'm going to go pick up a perfume or something, and he didn't buy anything, he would be way happier scientifically. It's been proven if he picked something up for himself, even if it was something
The matching panties.
Bro, who wants to wear bras without matching panties? I would never do that.
Yeah.
That's such a great point. This is such a great point. I freaking love that you brought that up. Gosh dang it. Quijano, we should do some research on that. People are happier when they actually buy something, but it is very true. I don't know about you guys, but there's like a dopamine rush. And also you feel like you did something, right? Like you feel like you moved forward. You feel like you took action rather than just being the person that's constantly consuming, and not actually moving forward. When there's a transaction that takes place, that's like a moment in time that you pin dropped. I actually took action. I bought something. Freaking, I love that. I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, I like those Nordstrom brothers. I also have a really good one about returning.
Paradigm shifts. Peeling back the onion, Pace. Peel it back.
So good. So good. All right. So let's get started. What do you guys say? Christian Hernandez, I love how chill you are, bro. I look at you. I like, why would I ever need to smoke weed? I could look at you and just chill out.
Christian is both Cheech and Chong. He's both of them.
Does anybody else feel that with Christian? Like he gives you a calming effect?
It's actually probably really good for sales, because that's another thing too, is like if you're just relaxed, like it's like it has this air of confidence rather than desperation. So you're probably fantastic on the phone. I've never heard you on the phone, but you're probably really good.
Thank
So
you.
we were in Dallas the other day, okay? And you were hanging out with the girls. I think you were at Vina Jetty's house. And I go down, I'm buying a deal from Christian Hernandez right now in Dallas. It's a sub 2 deal. Guy's in foreclosure. His name is Tomas. Bro, you were like, he only speaks Spanish. Homeboy like spoke better English than me.
Oh, I didn't know.
I brought a
Every single conversation I had with him was in Spanish. So then I thought about it. I was like, I don't know. It didn't sound like he did.
He showed up and like, I go to my camera guy, Chris, and Chris is like, starts speaking Spanish to him. I'm like speaking to Chris, and then Chris is speaking to Tomas, and Tomas is like, what are we doing here? And I was like, but here's what happens in this conversation. This will tell you a lot about Christian and about what this business is about and what we're trying to accomplish in this challenge. So I start talking to him, and I paid him, because a lot of sellers don't want to be on camera, but you tell somebody, hey, I'll give you $250, then all of a sudden they're not camera shy. So I give him $260. I gave him the $260 after he gave me the testimonial. I want to make sure he did what he promised, you know? And he says, you know, I had 50 people calling me. And I go, why did you choose Christian then? Well, if you had so many people calling you, why did you choose Christian? There's a long 3-minute explanation. But at the end of the day, he says, with everything that was going on, 50 people started calling me. And Christian was one of the very few people that kept calling me. And he was the only person that called me and treated me like a friend. And he said, when everything was going wrong in my life, I had a death of my uncle. I had to go to Mexico. I had a divorce situation going on, job changes, all that kind of stuff. He's like, every time that Christian reached out to me, it wasn't just about the house. It was like, hey man, how are you doing? I'm thinking about you. And he goes, everybody else in my world had basically ran like a cockroach when the light turns on. But Christian Hernandez was chilling there, and he was just my friend. And he goes, that's why I decided to do the deal with him.
Awesome.
In fact, you know, it's funny, Christian, you probably know this. You know this, obviously. He changed his mind a week before close of escrow. And he's like, I don't want to sell the house anymore. And you just reminded him like, hey man, we've been working on this for a good amount of time. Like, you know, I'm already committed to the deal. And he goes, yeah, you know what? You're right. And he told me, he says, I would never go back on my friend.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So that tells you what we're doing here, guys. We're building relationships with people. This is not about sales. This is what Quijano really does a great job on. By the way, get on the waiting list. It's March 4th. iCloseEvent.com is in the side chat. Get on the waiting list. I think, Quijano, when are you going to send out an email for people to let them know the details and stuff?
It'll be within the next couple of days. I want to give everybody a chance to get registered because, as you know, last time it went so quickly and nobody had a chance to join, right? We had all of those people sign up and only 60 people could come. So I want to give as many people as chance as they can to register. And then we'll be releasing the information. Obviously, it's in Phoenix. It's going to be in Pace's office. So yeah, it's within the next couple of days.
Cool. All right, let's get going. Should we get a couple of people on the phone and call their first foreclosure?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Christian, do you have a foreclosure list that we could call off of?
I do.
All right, cool. Let's do that. I'm going to give you co-hosting capabilities. Okay. So that we have multiple co-hosts.
Okay.
Let's unmute the chat for a little bit. Guys, anybody learn anything today? You actually learned some good stuff today? Everybody feel like you're moving forward, you're getting value. Julie Daniel says, Pace and Daniel, we have our hotel room ready for our boot camp March 4th. Julie, I thought you were staying at my guest house. You and Christian Hernandez are gonna smoke weed heavy. I've never smoked weed, but I can only imagine.
I think it would be, I feel like the stories would go to a whole nother level if you smoke some weed, Pace.
Oh my gosh.
I think he would get high and not say anything.
Imagine it's the reverse effect. He just sits there quiet, pontificating.
Like absorb into the carpet. All right. Hi, Kiki Shrug says hi. All right, cool. All right. We've got a lot of participants in here with their hand raised. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower everybody's hand. Carla Perez, I'm sorry. We're going to lower your hand. Oh my gosh. Sometimes Zoom is so annoying. And what we're going to do is people that want to make a phone call and be on here, you need to go in there and raise your hand. I'm going to lower hands. Oh my gosh, see what it does. So dumb. Okay, Christian, where are we going to call? Because it's, I know you do a lot of Texas deals. It's already now 6:00 in Texas.
I have a California list.
Is that should we be calling California list? Is that pretty good?
These people are they're going to auction in 2 weeks. So I don't know. It could be great. It could not be great.
Okay, I think we get a girl up here first. What girls, raise your hand. We were going to have you guys make your first call to a foreclosure seller. Okay. Here we go. Michael Wooder Okay, Sarah Shields. I love it. Here we go. Here she goes. Here she goes. She's gonna be. Hold on. Gosh, dang it.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
See how annoying that is. Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Are you? Gosh, dang it. You already sound too good to be on the phone.
Do you know what? My husband and I were sitting doing some work, and I have been listening. And I was like, I'm just going to raise my hand. I'm just going to do it.
I love it. Yes, Sarah
go.
Shields.
Way to
Give it up
go.
for Sarah Shields.
Women
Here I
are really
am.
good on the phone, especially for this, because there's really, like, we're naturally, even if we're not, Pace might be more caring than I am, but women just come off like in that initial first conversation as like, even if it's just a female voice, it feels like mom, it feels like home. So you're actually going to do really well. So
Okay,
any
well,
women who are
thanks.
afraid to call, you're going to kill it.
My heart is racing right now.
Oh, good. You know, it's cool. We had Adriana. I don't know if you saw Adriana from the Elephant Challenge, 2 Elephant Challenges ago, has done 2 deals since we put her in the pressure cooker on the Elephant Challenge.
I did see her. I did see that. And I'm in the exec Zoom with her too. So I see her there every week.
Hey, we should get Adriana up here and just say hi. Hey,
Good.
Carly, can you get Adriana like a co-host link over to her, please, if you don't mind, Carly? She's like, oh shit, Pace. Always pulling a move. All right, Christian and Quijano, I'm going to let you guys run this.
Boom. Let's do it.
Now, a couple
Okay.
of questions I have for you, Christian, because I want to make sure that everybody has, we're going to do a handful of these. Sarah, you're going to set the tone. A failure is a requirement, just so you know.
Okay.
It is not about, oh my gosh, I hope I do well. I hope you fail because it is a requirement for success.
Okay. I'm sweating right now. You should see me.
Dang it. I wish I could turn your screen on.
The camera, right? She's just here. No camera, nothing.
Dang it. I can't because you're a participant. There we go. Carly Grunman, can you help me? She's always on mute.
Yes.
Hi, Carly.
Hi, I can get her pulled up. So what I'll do is she'll go into the backstage and you're gonna have to press that little door and she'll come right back up.
Okay. You're talking about Sarah or are you talking about Adriana?
Sarah, do you want Adriana up too?
Yeah, I'd love to see Adriana.
Okay.
Do you know, I'm going to get my computer. I'm actually on my phone right now because I was doing stuff on my laptop. Can you give me one sec?
Yes, we can.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. For anybody who's going to be making calls, you will have to be on a computer or a second device that you can make the calls from so we can hear both sides of the conversation, because it doesn't help anybody if we can't hear both sides. So for anybody who's raised their hand that wants to make calls, make sure you guys have that as a requirement.
Yes. Joel says, I'm nervous as hell. By the way, Joel, you crushed my nuts the other day. He picked me up at the Dallas meetup, and he picked me up right in my situation and literally picked me up and spun me around.
I saw it. You had a really big smile on your face for getting your nuts.
Wow. My wife got to drop
But-
that. Huh?
I mean, if you're going to meet your heroes, you may as well go for the gusto, right?
All right, cool. So, Christian, how are we going to get this list over to her?
I have a Google Drive link right here.
Okay, and we'll just pull it up, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You have a couple people who said they're going to try to do the same thing if they meet you in person. Okay, so just,
Just
Have you
when
gone-
you guys see me in person, just punch me right in the nuts. Just save yourself the trouble.
nut check. Also, I can't, Laura can never call herself not a closer the way she slid in your DMs. That's a heavy closer move, bro. Heavy closer move.
We were making out 2 days later. It was great.
It was meant to be. Closer energy.
How do I share this with you guys?
Are you
So
not a
what
co-host?
we can do, Christian, are you just going to share the whole doc, the whole list, so everybody can call it?
Yeah, it's right there in the chat. 458.
Should we get? Is Carolyn up here? Carolyn, come up here and hang out with us for a little bit. Let's have Quijano, you, Christian. Let's give some feedback on all these calls.
Oh yeah, she is in here.
If she's up here, she's probably like, "Dang it, Pace! I was just about to leave."
No.
Boom.
She didn't say that. I'm just saying. Christian, a couple of questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was thinking today? I was like, Christian, I want to buy so many more deals from Christian. I'm wondering if I could get you to do a weekly foreclosure reach out Zoom for the sub-2 students.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be open for it.
You down for that? Who sub-2 students, you guys want to see Christian do foreclosure outreach once a week for 2 hours? Okay. Christian, bro, I'll pay you by being your best buyer.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
We got a deal.
Okay, so
Sarah's back. She's on her computer.
couple of questions. Christian, how many dials do we typically have to make to connect with the foreclosure seller?
I mean, if I'm calling them right now, I would dial the person at least 2 or 3 times before I dial a different number. Just
Okay.
because the first time they don't really answer, and then the second or third time they're more likely to answer.
Love it. Are you guys excited? Make sure you give Sarah some love. She's super nervous. Ooh.
Here I am.
We are gonna let you be a panelist so you can turn your camera on.
God.
Oh, look at you though. You're just jumping right into the fire, Sarah. It's awesome.
We got Adriana too. There she is.
There she is, Sarah Shields. Unmute yourself, Sarah.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, Sarah, on a 1 to 10, rate the nervousness.
I'm a 10 right now. I'm sweating. Like I do acupuncture. And as soon as needles go in my body, I start sweating. And that's what's happening.
Sweaty
right
investors are the best investors.
Sweaty investors.
Sarah, what market are you in?
now. So I am in Denver, Colorado. I joined sub-2 in October.
Has it been the
I'm
worst decision of your life?
Been amazing. I'm loving it. My husband and I are actually we just went under contract on our first property and having to do some remodel, but it's exciting.
Oh, cool. Angie Milanazzo says she's my friend.
Yeah, I was up in her
Ooh.
office a couple weeks ago,
I love Angie.
but I'd
All
never done a live call. So here we go. I mean, I've been taking
Love it.
calls, but never with this many people watching me.
So should
Yeah,
we
I
do
mean,
like
you-
nightly dial rules, Pace? What do you think?
I think we should do nightly dial rules. Explain to everybody that's a non-sub-2 student what that means.
Okay, so if you're not in sub-2, I apologize for your unfortunate life choices. However, every single night, when we reduce it to 3 times a week this year, we do this like consistently. And you'll have a couple hundred people sitting in the Zoom doing exactly what you're about to see right now. But anybody who's a sub-2 student can come in, raise hands, and get practice. So we have a couple of rules that we follow in doing this. Christian just mentioned one of them. So the first one is we triple dial everything. 3 calls before you move on to the next one. Now, to get the elephant, as Laura said so eloquently, out of the room, anybody who says, nah, 3 calls in a row, you're crazy, I would feel crazy uncomfortable doing that. Be honest. If you would say, nah, 3 calls is too much, 3 dials in a row. There's an Arlene Quijano. Why is there another person with my last name in this Zoom right now? I have so many questions, Pace. Is this my cousin?
Yeah, or are you a polygamist?
Maybe.
I'm
Don't tell Yvonne.
Daniela Quijano.
Yes, Laura is Daniela Quijano on the calls. Arlene, if we're related, I didn't get anything for Christmas. Just throwing it out there.
Sarah.
How come I can't see any of you?
You have to go to
because
the
I
view.
spotlit you. Here,
Go to
look,
the
you can-
top right, click view. Oh, you did?
Hey, Christian, let's do this. Let's take your screen off.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is in the side chat, I'm going to put it on pause. I want you to DM directly to Sarah the phone number and the address and the seller's information that she's going to call.
Okay, got it.
So Sarah will look into this. So just so you guys know, when you guys are doing the triple dials, I actually was pretty uncomfortable by this too when we started doing it. We've made thousands of calls over the last year and some change on the nightly dial live, right? But I can tell you a couple things. One, technology is technology. So there is a decent amount of the time when you're spending your time making phone calls, they never even got the call, right? So that first call usually isn't enough. You're losing 20, 30% of those calls anyways because of tech stuff, right? 2, if they're on iPhones and they have that phone on Do Not Disturb, it's not going to ring until you call the second time anyways, right? iPhone problems. So that's another issue. Something about the third call. I'll tell you this, all of the thousands of calls that we've made, I can tell you that 40+% of the calls that we have that become conversations happen on the third dial. It's just something weird. They answer on the third time. However, out of those thousands of conversations that happen on the third call, we've had maybe 1 or 2 people even ask, why did you call so many times? And you just say, oh, sorry, issue with the phone. They move on. It never becomes an issue. We've never had anybody get mad because of the 3 dials, but we do get substantially higher connect rates. So it's worth it.
Yeah, because typically if you're getting spammed by one of those, like, you know, student debt consolidation things, they're only calling 1 time. They're not calling 3 times in a row. So like,
Correct.
When you call 3 times in a row, somebody knows it's an actual human being and they'll pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Right. So we tell people all the time in the nightly dial, you haven't dialed once if you haven't dialed twice. And then we started doing something last year. We said triple dial is the new double dial.
Yep. Levels. You gotta level. You gotta get bigger.
Okay, so Christian, first name is Hollis, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, perfect. All right, here we go.
Everybody give Sarah some love in the side chat, by the way. I'm going to shut up while you make this phone call so that Seller doesn't hear us talk.
The person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
It went straight to voicemail.
Look at you, Sarah, doing this in front of 2,500 people right
I'm
now.
not looking at that number right now.
There's 1,800 people in the Zoom, 400 people roughly on YouTube, and another 300 people on a couple Facebook groups.
Cool. Hi, everyone.
Denver, Colorado.
You're
Doesn't
basically
she?
famous.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I'm sorry. You have reached the number that has been.
That happens a lot, by the way, guys, with foreclosures. You will run into a lot of phone numbers that have been disconnected because they are getting a lot of creditors' calls. Christian, how do you mix it up with texting and making phone calls?
I always text them right afterwards. I never not do it. You know, I'll call them. I'll do the triple dial and they don't answer, and I'll send a text.
But the first time it said the voicemail wasn't set up. Then the second time it said that the call was disconnected.
That was a different number. Should I have called the
okay.
first number one more time?
Yeah, call the first number 3 times.
Okay. My gosh.
You're such a badass, Sarah.
I've been wanting to do this, but I'll be honest, having 3 kiddos and getting on the daily dial is a little challenging. So with school, and so I'm like, I'm doing it now. Here we go.
Yes. I'm not going to do it in front of 250 sub 2 students. I'm going to do it in front of 2,500 people.
Right. That's how I roll.
Sarah, send them a text message. Christian and Kiana, what is our script for a text message?
What you got, Christian? What's the magic sauce? Hit him with the magic sauce.
You know, I don't have a magic sauce. I really just go straight for it, like you know, Laura said. So I might text them like, "Hey, we've been looking to talk to you about the property and I just put in the address. Do you have a second to chat?" And that's it.
Okay.
Tell them you're from Denver because that just makes people like you.
Does it?
Yeah, you guys are like the happiest people in the country.
Are Birkenstocks the universal shoe of Denver?
Yes.
I feel like they have to.
I have a few pairs.
She has a few pairs?
It's official.
How many do I have? None. I have none.
Pace, I was about to, I need to see them on your feet if you own Birkenstocks.
Do Birkenstocks have hiking sandals?
I don't believe so.
Toe
Maybe they
shoes.
do.
Hiking stocks.
Those
is
are
what
called
they're called.
Crocs.
Croc.
Actually, I do own. Yeah, they're Birken Crocs.
All right, so I just say my name is Sarah Shields. I was calling about your property. Christian, what else did you say?
I would ask him, when is the best time to call?
Okay.
Christian, how much are you going to make on that foreclosure you're assigning to me in Denver?
About $8,000.
Nice. I worked you down on that, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty good at that.
I see, man. I didn't stand a chance.
Do you remember oh, I remember. I actually recorded the call. Are you okay if I put it on YouTube?
That's fine.
Okay. It's a good call.
That was when I was there with Armand, right?
You were there with me. I was going to say Kihana was there.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that was a short call. I wonder if he closed me or I closed him.
I know. I saw that on your Instagram. I was like, you got closed. I'm sorry. But you know what? Here's, to be fair with you, Christian, you are like, I want to get a deal done with Pace, so him and I go do another 100 deals together. So you'll make off that one deal, you'll probably make $500,000 in assignment fees over the next couple of years.
I know it. I know it.
All right, I sent the text.
Okay, I think we give Sarah one more phone number to call.
Agreed.
She's already got the momentum. Give it to her. Guys, congratulations to Sarah first and foremost, getting over the fear. Hey, Sarah, did you die? Did you die?
I did not. I knew that I wouldn't. It's more about, I don't like being on a spotlight, which is hilarious that I'm right here. So here I am.
Look at you. Should we should just blow her up as the only face on the screen. Hold on.
Please don't. Please don't. Okay.
Hey, Adriana, good to see you.
You too. Sarah, you're doing awesome. Now we're joined at the hip.
I'm trying here.
A special fun fact. If anybody doesn't know this, I don't know why you don't have a business for this, Adriana. I'm not a huge cheesecake person. Yvonne is like the cheesecake connoisseur. Adriana probably made the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life.
Legit. It was that good.
It's
So
crazy.
legit.
Julie Burkhart says, ever.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial it.
So Christian give you another address and another phone number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Brian Catalan went to your house for some cheesecake, Adriana?
Brian?
Yeah, he's from Cali.
About
He has
that.
Maybe Airbnb.
His glasses and he's really handsome.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Do you have this many people coming through your house for cheesecake that you're unsure if Brian was on the list?
I don't know about Brian.
Was
I
it
don't-
at your Airbnb?
Probably an Airbnb.
Oh,
is what I'm
nobody
thinking.
came to my Airbnb. I actually tried to invite them when I went to the Golden Ticket, but it was too late for everybody. Actually, I take that cat back. Keston hung my, and I forget.
Brian Catalan.
Oh, that was Brian then. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Yes, they came to the Airbnb that Julie and I were sharing.
You know what my
And-
favorite part about this is like watching all of my friends become
Yes, you
friends
did,
with each
John.
other.
You have a wrong number.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that was a woman, and I have John up here. She said I have the wrong number.
That was John's wife, probably. Christian, do you get a lot of sellers that are like, you have the wrong number because they know that it's the bank calling?
Yeah, that happens a lot, and even like, for example, when she picked up the phone, I might have acted like I already know it's John and seen.
Yeah. So I would say, hey, John.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah.
name is Sarah.
And if they
Okay.
don't, if they say, "Oh, you got the wrong number," just say, "I'm so sorry. I was actually calling about the property." Give the address and say, "Are you the owner of that property?"
Okay. Okay. Should I call
Sometimes
back?
you guys, anyone who's watching this, is you'll have like the Excel spreadsheet that Christian had, and some of you might have already clicked on that Google Doc, and so that'll be open right up in front of you. And usually, you know, especially for husband and wife, you might. Sometimes I even, as I'm dialing, if I'm going to be like hand dialing, I'll pull it up on tax records too. And then that way I know who John owns the property with. And then I can be like, okay, is this a man or a woman who answered? And usually it's easy to tell. Sometimes it's not. But in that case, you could have been like, oh, hi, Nancy. And then continued on with the call, you know, because yeah, sometimes that's easier. And someone said, do hi, Mrs. John's last name. If you go formal, they're probably going to hang up on you because they know that you're a salesperson. So that's why you always go like, hey, John. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Christian. How's it going? You know, like, so sometimes having like, if Sarah had the spreadsheet pulled up at the same time, she could probably see who John was on with.
Bars. Can you guys tell that Laura does this like all the time?
Couple of things for people that are asking, where's the sheet coming from? Guys, yesterday we taught you how to find foreclosures on Privy. Okay. And today, if you guys showed up to the 3-day challenge on the third day, as we're wrapping up in the next 45 minutes, you would go, wait, where's the sheet? You guys are going to have homework tonight. Okay. You guys are going to have homework tonight. Or pretend to be the side chick. Oh, that would be really bad. To Hector Toro, do not do that. You actually, Hector, I think you could pretend to be the side guy. That'd be great. I wonder how well that go. You don't want to do that.
That's happened. I've called people and they're like, "Oh, I know you're sleeping with my wife," and I'm like,
Oh,
no,
you're kidding me, right?
I promise." Like, no, I'm just calling to sell the house. I know who you are, man.
If you make contact with the opposite sex first, they usually think something's going on. And especially if some of these situations are because of a divorce. I think you mentioned that Tomas is going through a divorce. So especially in those divorce situations, if I make contact with the soon to be ex-husband, the wife is always going to have a problem with me. So that happens.
Okay. A couple of things. Yes, I call DNC. I call the do not call list all day long. We call the do not call list. What about you, Christian?
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. We call the DNC list. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Couple of things. You guys need to go back to day 2 to figure out how to pull the list for foreclosures. We're calling on foreclosures. Christian, what's a good day for you? Monday or Tuesday to do foreclosure outreach for the sub 2 community starting next week?
I can do Tuesday.
What time?
Tuesday. We could do Tuesday at 11.
11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
What if I tell you that you have to do that every day for every week for the rest of the year?
Oh, that works. That would work. Tuesday at 11. And I'm just thinking, long term and stuff like that. But yeah, that works.
Christian, how many JV deals do you think you're going to get from that?
All of them.
Too many. A lot of them.
Do you know how much money Shai and Prakash made with Munif on Saturday by doing JV deals?
Oh, I could imagine.
Last 6 months, $1.8 million in JV fees.
Amazing.
Even when you say $1.8 million, his tone is amazing.
that was Christian excited.
That was me being excited, man.
You kind of sound like a Kermit the Frog that smoked a little bit of weed.
That's the best.
No, you agree or not agree?
I never heard it.
You've never heard that? Even a seller has not said that to you? Like, hey, is this Jim Henson?
No, they haven't.
Okay, so should we get Sarah to do one more call, guys, before we bring up somebody else? Sarah,
Yes.
You've already been triumphant. Do you want to go one more time?
Sure, let's do it.
Yes, love it.
Trifecta.
And then I have to go coach my daughter's basketball team.
Sarah, you've already been coaching all these newbies in here to just show them that it's not that hard, right?
Yes, it's not.
My wife says you've already been balling today.
All right.
Guys, who thinks Sarah's a badass?
I haven't made a phone call yet.
No, you have. Here's the thing. First and foremost, Sarah, you raise your hand, you jump on here in front of 2,500 people like a badass, and now you're hanging. You're just hanging. This ain't anything for you.
Light work. It's the hardest part.
I did it. I did it.
The amount of time space we've seen people come into the dial for 6 months, lurking in the corner, not saying a word. They're every day, not saying anything. And then they finally raise their hand, right? Because they couldn't do the thing that Sarah did right here today. Their business starts to change overnight. Now, all of a sudden, they have confidence. They feel better. It's not because they did an amazing job, but because they took the first step. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's also just mindset. I feel like the first 4 months of being in sub 2 was more about mindset than
A lot of it, yeah.
real estate. So that's what my focus has been.
Yeah. I don't know that the mindset ever ends, but that's a really great point, is that in the beginning, it's getting over a lot of stuff. And like even Carolyn and Myron, when they first joined, I was like, make more friends in sub 2. And fast forward a year and a half later, their entire business is reliant on JV deals with all their friends in sub 2.
100%.
But in the beginning,
Yeah.
they were like, let's just do it ourselves.
Oh my God. We thought we had to cut our teeth on like everything. Like we needed to know everything. No, we just need
Hey,
to get our head
when
out
you
of our
first started
butts.
this thing, bro, did you imagine a couple of years later you were going to have like students all over the country changing their life, making hundreds of millions of dollars, helping other people? Like this is like a 7-step removed side effect of all the things you built. Like, was this in your mind?
My wife's like, she watched me plan it.
Love it.
I planned it. But also my favorite part of this, I was just going to say before Sarah got that lady to answer, is my favorite part of all this is watching you guys become friends with each other all over the country. Like the fact that Adriana's like, oh yeah, Keston and Elena and this, the golden ticket event. And then I was here and everybody's hanging out at my Airbnb. It's like, it's almost like hanging out in high school all over again with like my very best friends.
Yep.
Hey, Christian, I see the number. I don't see the name.
Christian's throwing a wrench at you. You got to guess the name.
Plot twist.
If we were all in high school, would Christian be our weed dealer?
Yes, 100%.
Possibly.
Wait, so everybody we're all in high school, Pace. What's everybody's? So Christian's the weed dealer. What's Adriana?
She's the home ec. She's the home ec girl. She loves home ec stuff.
She brings
I love
everybody
that.
doilies.
I love that for her.
Okay.
I think Carolyn would be head of the yearbook society.
Oh my gosh.
Like, well,
I don't know
100%.
about that.
I could see
I'm
it.
kind of like the class clown in a way. I was the class clown a little bit.
Were you really?
I was like friends with everybody, like the art club, the band, the nerds, the jocks, the cheerleaders, everything. But I was like a real goof ass.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like the person that
Okay.
Daniel Quijano is definitely. My wife says the class clown, but I don't see that.
He was like
Okay.
instigating some stuff.
Oh, instigating shit every day, all day.
Okay, what were
Punking
you gonna
people?
say, Pace?
I don't know, bro. You trip me up when I like the way you speak, the way you. I felt like I had you like figured out, and then when I met you in person and you were wearing Toms, and then also you have seven chihuahuas or whatever they are.
Yeah, I'm an enigma.
Okay, Sarah, we got to get you to basketball practice. Let's do one more call.
Do it. Okay, here we go.
You're in detention.
The dunce, yeah.
I spent my time in detention for sure.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Call one more time just to be sure. That same number.
Well, don't disrespect Toms. Not in this Zoom, bro. We respect Toms in these Zooms.
Somebody in the side chat said that you were the guy that ran the high school radio. You did all the announcements.
I would have done it 100%. Fun fact, I used to be on a radio show back in the day, like 10 years ago. 20 years ago, 15 years, a long time ago.
Well, yeah, what would I have been?
You were the guy that was friends with everybody without question.
Yeah.
Right. But you also had your own thing going on that much fewer people knew about.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was teacher's pet. I was definitely teacher's pet.
I could see that.
I had a crush on Mrs. Greenwell. She was 65 years old.
Laura's got some competition.
You should talk to Yogi Health Studio. Receive a message. Thank you.
Oh, I thought we had one.
It's a voicemail. Just a voicemail.
Give it one more shot.
Give that call one more time. You've done a level 9 the whole time. This is your 10. This is level 10 right here.
Okay.
Leave a voice memo this time.
Yvonne has like this weird addiction with Bollywood stuff. There's literally Bollywood music playing in the other room for no reason whatsoever.
Right now?
Yes, as we speak. I was like, who's playing that?
Talk to Yogi Health Studio. Receive a message. Thank you.
Leave a message.
Hi, Julio. My name is Sarah Shields. I work with people that are having issues with the bank. I saw your name come up on my list, so I am just calling to see how I can help. If you can give me a call back, that would be amazing. My number is 303-908-5670. Thank you.
Gosh, dude, I wish Sarah was on my team.
So natural.
Sarah, you're such a badass.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, I try.
The fact that you stepped up, before Sarah goes, anybody in here that's a brand new person that's never made a call before, Sarah and her husband are getting a deal under contract. They're not brand new. Okay. They've got some momentum. They've got some traction. They've stepped over that hump already. But does it give you motivation when somebody just is like a woman with 3 kids that has soccer practice any minute is like, let me get on the phone and show you fools how to do this. All you newbies, you better tell her thank you. Say thank you. All the newbies that have never made a phone call before, say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's because I'm motivated. I want to make the calls and do this. I'm a speech therapist. I have my own practice and I want to be done with my practice by the end of the year. So that's my goal.
When you hear me speak, do you judge me?
No.
A little bit.
Why? Why would I judge you?
I'm just wondering. It's like when somebody goes, I'm a therapist. I'm like, oh, don't look at me.
Say birthday.
Birthday.
No, I don't. I don't hear anything. No.
Are you also going to say, book a call with me? I'll fix everything.
No. No.
Sarah, amazing. Everybody, Sarah, amazing. Let's get somebody else up here. Sarah, thank you. Have a great night. You're amazing. We'll see you in sub 2.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Let's go.
Dope. All right, let's get somebody else up here.
We got. Bring them out.
Let's get a guy up here. Just to prove. All right, if you do not want to be on a call, lower your hand right now because I am going to pick somebody. Okay? I am going to pick somebody. Better be a guy. Ooh. Look at all these guys. I'm wondering, I'm looking at all these names and I'm like trying to see if anybody in here is like super gangster at this that I don't want to pick on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's tough.
Here's the thing is if you're a brand new newbie, you've never made a phone call before, that's who we want. I want somebody who's never made a phone call before. Lower your hand if you've made phone calls before. I want somebody who's never made a phone call before. Lower your hand if you've never made a phone call before.
Jared said he's never made a call. Who else?
Dang, dude. People are piling in on the. Okay.
Austin.
Okay, Carolyn, can you see the participants with their hands raised?
I cannot.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix it.
Oh, shoot. Wait. Hold on, I can.
Okay, I want Carolyn to pick somebody.
No pressure, Carolyn.
Austin Ray.
Home. That's what I would have picked. Too.
Sounds like a
I'll pick
country
Austin.
singer.
Mm.
Ray, are you available?
You know how to bring him up
Wait,
here?
shoot. Allowed to talk. Oh, wait. Should I promote to? There he is.
Hello.
Austin Ray, hopefully you got good connection over there in that internet world that you got to go over there. Austin Ray.
Muted himself.
There he is. What's up, Austin Ray? How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great.
Okay, Quijano, I'll let you run this. Let's treat this like the nightly Dow.
Let's do it. All right, Austin, you have a different device to make calls from? Money. Okay. So what we're going to do, you're going to have to pause the chat real quick. Christian's going to send you some numbers directly in a direct message, right? Grab that, like copy and paste it, take it to the side so that way if the chat starts going again, you don't lose it. And then you're just going to want to call. Again, triple dial every number, right? Call it 3 times before you move on to the next one. And then when you get up there, do you have the script that we put out to be able to have these conversations?
I will try to find it.
All right. Hold on. Is the chat paused? I'm going to send it to him if the chat.
Austin, who are you yelling at over there?
My older brother.
Interesting. Is he making calls too?
No, he's working. I was just waving him off.
All right, here we go. You're about to get the script. You ready?
Yep.
You may want to mute your text messages, buddy.
He's like, I've never been on a live with this many people. I never had to worry about that.
Yeah, seriously. So Rudy is the name?
We don't know. Only
I sent
you and
another one, Sandra
Christian know.
Johnson.
Okay.
Any questions before you get started, Austin? Any concerns? Anything you want to get out before? I guess not. Let's go.
He's on it.
Hello, Michelle here.
Hey, Michelle, this is Austin Ray. I'm here to help people that are having issues with the bank. The reason why I do this is actually a long story. My dad at 12 years old had to work 3 jobs to help his single mother because his father left and they had an eviction notice on their refrigerator. And I want to let you know that I can help you get through this.
Okay.
So I had your name pop up on my list for foreclosure. I just want to let you know this, and you probably already know this, but I probably know that you're probably getting hit up by many people. I want to get you through this. This is just an introduction. Later on, you can call me back in a couple of days and we can go through this, but I just want to let you know who I am so I can help you get through this.
Okay.
So when's a convenient date that we can have another call?
I'm available now. What do you do?
So I do many things, but right now is probably not a great time. So I want to set up another call that's convenient for both of us so we can have a longer discussion to go through this.
You did really great, Austin. I have no idea how I got on this call because I'm on Pace's call right now listening to you. And I'm not in foreclosure. I actually sold my house like 5 months ago and I was never in foreclosure, but you did really, really well. I just want to let you know.
Wow, this is amazing. Yes. Bro, I was literally, this is literally, I was going to say, dude, give me her phone number. I will call her right now.
Okay, I'm going to let you go. Call someone who's really in foreclosure.
How is that even remotely possible? Christian, are you playing jokes on us?
No, I'm not. It's just what came up.
Was that a punk?
That was hilarious.
The name doesn't match. So the name that we have here doesn't match the name that she said.
Austin, great job, bro. Great job, bro. Great job. Great job. Great job.
Love that.
Oh man.
All right. You want to do some feedback on this, Pace?
Yes, I want to do some lot of feedback on this.
Okay, let's do it. Who's going first?
Me. Give me 3 minutes on this.
Let's go. I love it. In 20 minutes.
So first off, Austin, the fact that you jumped on it, you didn't even wait, you just made the phone call, unbelievable. Great job. Really, really great job. Second thing, okay, I want to highlight to everybody that's brand new to this game. Guys, I'm going to turn the chat back on so you guys can give him some love and adoration in the side chat. Give him some love, please. I want to tell you guys, when you're brand new, one of the reasons you won't take action is because you don't know what the next couple of steps are. And you're afraid of like, oh my gosh, the whole world's going to burn down around me and I'm going to feel stupid and all that kind of stuff. Austin, do you feel great right now?
I feel great. I always take action. That's how
You're
I've
an
been
action
raised.
taker. I freaking love it. Okay. So one thing I would do is if you're in that situation and you're saying, hey, this is just an introduction call, right? I would make sure you say, hey, I want to just connect with you before the end of the day. See if you have time tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Because she's like, if I was listening to that as a seller, I'd be like, well, why don't you just talk to me right now? Other than that, I'm super happy about it. What do you got, Quijano?
So two things. One, what Paige just said is perfect, right? Nobody, you're not to call someone to say, hey, I'm calling you to tell you that it's not a good time to talk, right? Like that wouldn't really make a lot of sense for most people, right? So what a good thing to do is to have some blanket template questions that you ask, right? I don't like defaulting to tell me about the property, but if you have nothing else to say, you can always ask for information about a property that's a safe place to go if you have nothing else. But I think Pace's advice is perfect, right? Just say, hey, it's towards the end of the day. It's on a Friday. I just wanted to touch base with you, see what time on Monday would be good, right? If you get frozen, those are some good fallbacks.
Yeah, like you were the last call of my day. I'm heading out of the office right now. I'm glad I connected with you. Do you have time tomorrow for me or my partner to call? Because the good thing about squatting up, right, is if you get somebody from the sub 2 community and you're like, I don't know, Adriana, have you ever had anybody from the sub 2 community help you with a deal?
Yes.
Is one of them on the screen?
No.
Carolyn and Myron have never helped you do anything?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't even remember who comes to her house, Pace. At this point, it's
Yes.
totally fine.
Myron, I asked him to double check my underwriting, but as far as like calling, actually, I was calling them to check my deal and then dispo the deal.
Okay, got it. So have you ever had other sub 2 students help you with your seller calls?
No, other than, with the 2 that I subbed, but they're not on here.
Okay, but you've had other students call and help you.
And that was what gave me the confidence to be able to call, because I knew I had somebody that I could call up right away and say, can you follow up with them? In fact, I told them I'm going to have them follow up with you tomorrow.
So I just want to point out what Quijano and I are saying, Austin, is you did a really great job there with teeing it up for somebody else. And this also highlights why we do this challenge. Is I want the people in the free Facebook group to rely on the sub 2 students to be able to say, hey, will you help me make my phone calls? If I go take the first step, if I go take the action, can I set appointments for you? Now, if you're brand new, instead of anybody in here is brand new, that if you got into that situation, you're like, oh my gosh, I'd rather just hang up the phone because I don't know what to say. Okay. But let's say that you had a sub 2 student that said, I would help you if all you did was set appointments. Do you feel like you could actually set appointments way easier, faster, more confidently than trying to close a seller? So take a note of that. Stop looking at this as cold calling. Look at this as setting appointments for somebody with more experience. Okay, mindset changes things for you. Okay, so Austin, you did a great job. One thing I did want to also hit up is that you were a little nervous in the beginning, so you kept talking.
I was nervous. Yeah, I was.
I'm nervous on calls too, bro. Even at my level, I've closed 1,000 deals.
Oh, yeah.
I'm nervous too. Don't worry about that. But you were nervous to the point where you should have said, I want to let you know I can help you get through this. And I would have paused there for a second, let her respond.
Yeah, you did something, Austin, it's called overqualifying, right? Now, you weren't qualifying the prospect, you were overqualifying your presence on the phone. So you kept giving all these reasons why you deserve to be there, and you didn't actually make sure you were even talking to the right person, right? So it's good when you make these statements, make the statement and then give them a chance to participate in the conversation, because there's a rule in sales that says who's supposed to be talking the most in a conversation. You were the prospect. Austin, what's your guess? Who's supposed to be talking the most?
Person you're talking to.
Yeah,
You
right.
should
And in
let
this
them
call,
talk.
who talked the most?
Me.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's just like if you're going to go on a date with somebody and you want them to know, like if you're dating somebody new, you want them to know that you're not a stalker, you're not a crazy person, you're not a murderer. But on your first call, if you say, hey, I think you're really, really pretty, I'm not a stalker, I'm not a crazy person, I'm not a murderer, how far is that going to get you, right? You don't start there, right? Eggs go in the cake, but in the right order, right? So just start, give the space, right? Nobody wants eggs on the top of their cake, right between the frosting, right? You got to put it.
Are you saying this analogy so Adriana is like totally into this?
100%. I wanted Adriana's engagement.
That's right.
She's like, yeah, no, you would never do that.
Know your audience. That's another sales strategy that Kihano teaches. Know your audience.
Another tip for Austin. Okay, so another tip for you newbies really quick is, so if someone's like, well, just tell me your solution. Tell me your solution. Well, what can you do? Well, how can you help me? The best thing to do, and how I learned this, is I used to tee up appointments for someone else. And when I first started calling on the foreclosure list, I had no idea what it was. My boss gave me the list and said, you put your butt in this chair every morning at 7:30 a.m. and you get ready to dial by 8 a.m. And you're going to call through this, and you have to call through it at least 5 times and then come and talk to me. And he's like, all I want you to do is get people into this office. And I had no idea what it was. I quickly realized it was a foreclosure list, but I didn't know how to talk to people. So I kind of just made it all up myself. But when people were asking me, well, what can you do? Obviously we had the end goal for that particular time in my life. I wanted to help people by doing a short sale. But some people who call on the pre-foreclosure list, they just want to cash offer them. And sub 2 students want to do like, let's reinstate and let me take your loan sub 2. So the best response to something like that is every situation's different. And I want to make sure that I give you the best option for your exact situation. So I'd love to come and meet you in person just to chat. If you want, we can meet at my office. We can meet at the property. Or if you feel more comfortable, we can even meet at a Starbucks. Just the worst solution for you right now is just to let the property foreclose. And then again, you be quiet and you see what they say. So if you're ever afraid and you get in that situation and you don't know what to do to tee them up, just say, the worst thing that can happen right now is foreclosure. Every person's situation is unique. I want to make sure that I give you the best option for your exact situation. So I'd love to come meet you. So.
Love it.
Man, my wife is better than I am.
No, I'm not.
Agreed.
Adriana and Carolyn, what piece of feedback do you guys have for the audience that watched Austin do a great job?
I think I align with what Daniel was saying in the fact that he was overqualifying. I love the relatability factor of him wanting to connect with that person on that, like, this happened to me. I have a personal experience and how to connect with them that way, but it just wasn't in the right time frame. And yeah, I think if you allowed a little bit more breath and actually confirm that you were talking to the correct person, that would have given you a little bit more confidence and slowed you down a bit to then get into that if it went to that. Yeah. Otherwise, I think you did amazing. I would have never thought to do that right out of the gate.
Adriana, put a little bit of whipped cream on this cheesecake.
Oh.
I would say that I resonated a lot with, as a newbie in the beginning, of overqualifying ourselves first because we're so nervous and we feel like we don't know anything. So we're trying to give ourselves more qualifications for them to actually listen to us. But if we think back and not take the focus off of us and more on them, then we're like, I want to help you. So now it's about them. And so that immediately starts for us to lower our guard down, because it's not about us, it's about them, trying to help them. And so I think when we think about that prior to picking up the phone, it kind of, the flow is easier. Does it make sense?
Absolutely does. And I actually wish I was taking notes than being on a screen.
Oh, you don't, bro.
This
We're
is
recording
amazing
this. You can go
stuff.
back and rewatch it. Don't worry
Oh,
about that.
absolutely go back and get notes.
Yeah, and Peter
But
Novak keeps
yes,
asking, what if we're in a different state? Peter, all of these calls are going to be in different states, brother. So you can do these from anywhere. Most of the calls, almost every single deal I've ever done has been over the phone. I've never seen the person face to face because all of my business is virtual. If you want to do a Zoom, you can, but don't underestimate the value of having a good conversation over the phone.
I'm going to give you guys in the side chat a really harsh piece of reality. Okay. When you guys ask the what if questions, what if this and what if that, what if this and what if that, you are telling me, hey, Pace, I'm not taking any action at all. I would much rather you guys ask the question, hey, I just failed on a call and I said this. What should I have said differently? That's a way better question, right? This is why the nightly dial exists for the sub 2 students out there. Daily dial, nightly dial. Quijano has been running the nightly dial for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years, which is amazing. Most qualified sales trainer, in my opinion, in the nation on any topic is Daniel Quijano. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I want to hear. I only got two hearts, space. They don't.
The only people's opinion I care about are these two girls on the screen. What do you guys think? You guys love Quijano and the nightly dial?
Yes. I texted him last night. I was like, you break everything down into such digestible skills and you knock it out of the park, how you communicate to people and everything. So he does an amazing job.
Amazing job.
I went to Dan's sales boot camp, and that was amazing. That actually helped. It was at that moment that when he was talking about the red, the blue, and the yellow people, this is one of the things that I resonate with a lot of the women in sub 2 that I connect with, is that especially older people. I'm going to be 50 this year. We've been in
Don't lie.
This W2 where we get into these jobs and we're so used to you can't touch to anybody, you can't to pick up the phone until you know these things. So we've ingrained in ourselves that we have to be prepared. And so when you tell us pick up the phone, we're like, wait, what's going on? But I remind them, we're wives, we're moms, we're sisters. We've negotiated things before. We know how to bargain shop. We know how to ask all these questions, and we want to make sure if we get in a car, are you really telling us the right thing? And so we ask all these questions, but when we get into real estate, it's a new career. I'm a new career, right? I don't know anything. And so we take off all of this experiential, professional experience and knowledge, and we take them all off and we put on this quirky hat that says, I'm dumb. I don't know how to talk to people. What are you saying? And, and I say, we got to mesh them all together and just say,
it's really good. Adriana, look at you. You just gave me chills. That was awesome. What a great way to get people to really understand that you're going and you're negotiating and doing all these things in your regular life. You're a soccer mom, you're dealing with the teachers at the school, you're doing all these kind of things. But then the second you jump into this, it's like you forget that you're doing it all day long. Gosh dang, Adriana. You just put some strawberries on that cheesecake. Dang. One last quote. My wife wants to say something. Adriana, did you make your first call here on the Elephant Challenge, or was that during the nightly dial?
Actually, the very first Elephant Challenge that I was on in July, where I asked what was hard money.
Look at you. Now tying in analogies and telling people about mindset of sales. Look how dope that is.
Love it.
It actually is what caused me to make my first call to an agent, because I said, I'm going to do this. And they said, are you going to do this? Are you going to pay full on? And I said, yes. So nobody was watching me or anything, but I picked up the phone, or I had the phone and I dialed the number. And as soon as I hit call, it was like, okay, I can't go back. But the Elephant Challenge is what caused me to make the first call. Yeah.
Love it. Laura, what do you got?
I wanted to encourage, what Austin just did is so cool, just to jump off that cliff and just do it. But I also want to encourage everyone else too. I'm not a really big script person, but I think that scripts are good as a foundation for you then to take things that you like that come out of your mouth naturally and move things and put things in a different way and kind of make it your own. Because how I approach a foreclosure is similar but different than Christian, but we are both effective. And also to remember that there is a type of salesperson for every personality type. So someone who might respond really well to Pace, when Pace is selling somebody, he's very directive and he attracts a certain type of seller. And one of the things that I noticed really quickly when I started working with Pace is he attracts a certain type of person that really wants someone to tell them what to do. And I attract a totally different person. And so you don't have to be a killer. You don't have to be like a top salesperson to be able to make money doing this. I am successful and I am not naturally sales minded. I'm not a hard closer. I, am a little bit awkward. And if I can be effective, then everyone can be effective. So don't feel like you have to become a version of Pace on the phone. You become just a really good version of yourself. And how you get better is by doing it. So Austin's going to crush, not because he's going to turn into, a mini Christian where he's saying exactly what Christian's saying. He's going to do well just because he's doing it. And he will do it more and he'll run into the same objections because this is a very specific demographic of person that will say the same thing to him over and over. And I think Christian can probably confirm you run into the same objections calling this list. And so really quickly, Austin will be like, oh crap, I didn't know how to respond to that one. Now that I'm off the phone, let me think about that. And he's going to be great just because he's doing it. So the only way you can get better is you got to Nike, just do it. And that's one of the things that when my boss put me down and said, get your butt in this chair and start calling, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me because he told me I had to do it. It's my job. And I didn't have time to overthink it. I just had to do it. And I had to do it every morning. I had to repeat it every morning. And I got really good really quickly because I forced myself to be consistent.
You got people asking if you have a sister in the chat, Laura. Just saying.
I do.
Anybody think my wife is hot?
Answer carefully.
No, I'm good with it.
She's a babe.
Very, very hot.
You don't buy a Porsche so you can leave it in the garage and nobody can look at it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you guys are making me feel good. I felt like I was in my pool there.
I'm trying to get laid, guys. Okay. Here's what I think we do. Okay. I think what we do is, Austin, you got the balls to make one more call, my bro?
Sure.
Yeah.
I know I'm better in person because actually this is a very funny story.
My wife just said, I think you were great. We all thought you were great, dog. Don't be saying stuff like that. You're great here.
Well, so I grew up in real estate in the financial world. And last summer I went down to visit my grandparents to help them close their 100-unit complex. They had between the two agents, they wanted 6%, which would have been money out of their pocket. I flew back. I purchased a first-class ticket. My grandparents thought it was crazy. Sitting on the seat, the guy right next to me purchased all 3 seats for himself, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know a single person that does that. Started a conversation with them, realized that he owned 50 carpet ones. And then I started talking to him. And I just in my head, I'm like, well, if we come in and he puts in new carpets and countertops and everything, it'll just increase in the equity, be much more. He can rent it out more. And we're already under renting it. And 2 weeks later, I sold it to him.
Ooh, nice, bro. You are a gangster. We've already confirmed that, but let's do one more phone call. Okay, yep. Austin Ray, last phone call of the day. Then we're gonna wrap it up. Give you guys some homework. Do you guys think we should do next time a more? Do you think we should do foreclosures again next month? And we just focus on foreclosures for the next couple of months, single family homes, foreclosures, because they're going to get way more significant. And we teach you guys the foreclosure process. If you guys want to go and
Yeah.
watch on my wife's YouTube channel, there's a couple YouTube channels you need to subscribe to. Okay. Number one, Daniel Quijano's YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to it. Okay. Go and subscribe to that. Subscribe to my wife's YouTube channel. She has a video on there of her stopping a foreclosure. Okay. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the elephant challenge way sooner this time than we did last month. Okay. Last month I I actually skipped January and we jumped into February, but we're going to do first week of March. So in 2 weeks. Okay. We are going to focus on foreclosures. We're going to be back on this in 2 weeks. Okay. All right. In the meantime, if you are a sub-2 student, I want you guys coming in. Christian's going to start doing Tuesdays at 11 o'clock, showing you guys how to find foreclosure leads, work on foreclosures. Christian's going to sell me 1 deal a week this year. Okay. Daniel Quijano, we're going to be doing the, oh, Christian. Yeah. He's just like, yeah. I want his laugh as my ringtone. Wow, bro. We need to hang out way more, dog.
Christian's
What
got
city are
one
you in
speed.
Cali?
What's that?
What city in Cali are you in?
I live in Fullerton, which is right next to Anaheim by Disneyland.
Oh, Fullerton. Yeah, yeah. I know where Fullerton is. There's a famous band that I really love from there. Okay. Quijano and I are going to be doing the boot camp. That is on March 4th. Please put that link in the side chat one more time, brother. Please, please, please. And Christian, can you get Austin Ray one more phone call?
Yep.
And Pace, on any of these, man, if you guys want, if you decide to do more calls next time, I would love to be here and help people make the calls. And do
We will. I'm gonna organize it. What happened is on day one of this challenge, I pivoted from multifamily to single family, and we spent half the day kind of going over that. So next elephant challenge, 2 weeks from now, we will be focusing on single family foreclosures, and we will do a lot more calls than we did this challenge. Give us some emojis for Quijano to come back. All right.
Hell yeah.
Austin Ray, what do we got, brother? Show us what you got.
I don't think I've got it. Yeah.
Let me send it to you again. There you go.
Talk about emojis. How about you guys get some emojis? Pace, you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but Pace is like on TV. Him and Laura, they're like a big deal, right?
We got 30 new episodes just renewed with A&E the other day, which is a big deal. And I was like, and somebody's like, man, are you so excited? And I was like, for what? The next elephant challenge? Yes, I am.
And so instead of being up in the clouds with all the other famous people, he's in the real world helping everybody here get better, asking nothing in return. Not a lot of humans on this planet that would do that, y'all.
Bro, come on. I'm hanging out with my besties. I'm hanging out with Carolyn, who I love. I'm hanging out with Adriana, who I love. I'm hanging out with Dan Quijano, who's become one of my best friends in the last couple of years. I think you guys are watching the very beginning stages of the most meteoric rise of a sales trainer in the nation. Just watch. Give him 24 months. He'll be everywhere. And Christian Hernandez and I are going to start a weed company. It's going to be great.
I love it. I'll be your sampler. Just let me be the sampler. I don't even smoke weed, but I'll start just for that.
Edibles.
All right, Austin, what do we got?
Cheesecake edibles.
Here he goes.
And then cheesecake.
Austin from Boston.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
There he is. Great job, Austin. Great job. Immediately, bro. Immediately.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Leave a
You want
voicemail.
me to go to the next number that you guys
Leave a
sent in?
voicemail.
Okay.
Oh, you already hung up.
Yeah, I
Alright.
did.
Watch him answer. Please answer.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Sorry, the mailbox belonging to you is full and will not receive your message. Please hang up. Are you still there?
Hang up
Goodbye.
and send a text.
Okay.
Hi, this is Austin from Boston. Austin's like, dang it, now I have to move to Boston.
Aston from Boston.
I put Carolyn and Myron's YouTube channel in the chat as well because that's a must subscribe. Like if you can't have Netflix
Thank
if
you.
you're not subscribed to their YouTube channel, is how I feel about it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Same to you guys. That's the goal for the year. Everyone gets their YouTube up and running.
100%. I told Quijano he needs to be at 25,000 by the end of the year, and Kevin Cho needs to be at 20,000 by the
That's
end
a
of the year.
whole goal, bro. 25,000 by the end of the year, bro. I'm coming for it.
You got it. It's 1/4 of the free Facebook group. That's it.
Well, when you say it like that, now I sound like I'm not doing anything. Call me a loser without calling me a loser.
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me on and doing some calls. So I'll let someone else do some calls now.
Great job, Austin. Great job. We're proud of you, brother. Great job, Austin. How
Thank
can
you,
people reach out to you
Austin.
if they want to squat up with you? Are you on another student sub 2 students team?
Yes, I will bring that up actually.
Who you with? Who you hanging out with? Angie Milanazzo? Rob Sema?
I'm hanging out with Brianna Zimbick.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
She's amazing.
Yes. My wife says you're amazing. I have to get rid of Austin now. My wife's hitting on you, bro. This is not okay. This is not okay.
Hi.
Okay, guys, what an amazing elephant challenge. What an amazing elephant challenge. Here's where you guys can find all of these people. Adriana, sub 2 student, mastermind student, unbelievable student. You can JV with her. Her Instagram is right there. Adriana C _ Does C stand for cheesecake?
It should, but it's actually Camero.
Okay.
Camero.
Come here. Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
It's actually Camero.
Camero.
We like to say Camaro. Most people say Camaro.
Okay. Quijano, you guys all know where you can find Quijano running the nightly dial, also doing the boot camp and running his YouTube channel. Boot camp coming up, iCloserEvent.com. Carolyn Briley, one of my favorite people on the planet. Love her more than I love her
him.
husband. He's cool, but she's way cooler.
He just
Don't
came in and I said, get out of here. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Get out of here, bro.
No, we love him.
Get out of here, bro. So we love him. He's amazing. Really appreciate hanging out with you. Man, you guys, I have not been able to thank you properly. I want to thank you right now. Thank you so much for that Dallas meetup. We had 500 something people come to that meetup. That was insane.
It was incredible. I
Have
mean,
you ever
we
seen a
can't do
meetup that
anything
big?
but- No. I'm like, man, now we got to pull some 500s every time we have a meetup.
Yeah, that's the standard now.
That's the standard.
Hey, Frank Billman,
was-
go to my wife's YouTube channel if you want to stop the foreclosure process. It's on her YouTube channel. Type in Laura Foss on YouTube. You'll find it. Laura. Oh yeah, we're married. Laura Morby. That's important. Christian Hernandez. I am going to hold you to a standard. You and I need to do at least 10 deals this month together, or 10 deals this year together. Okay. And I want to make sure, does everybody want to see all the sub 2 students? You guys want to see Christian Hernandez running a foreclosure Zoom every single week on Tuesdays? All my sub 2 students?
Yep.
Okay. Christian,
Yup.
do you have the ability to do JVs with students?
All day, every day.
Okay. You think this would be a great opportunity for you to maybe do some JVs?
Yes, I'm up for it. I'm ready.
All right. Guys, we will be sending out an email with everybody letting you guys know when the next Elephant Challenge is. We will be focusing on foreclosures. We appreciate you guys. Everybody here from the free Facebook group, please take a moment, just a moment, and thank all of the sub 2 community for showing up and giving you guys a place to plug in. We're not here to try and charge you. Is anybody surprised that you can get charged anything? Do you guys kind of act now that after Laura said that, she's like, people want to be charged something. Should we charge you guys something? Okay, everybody DM me your credit card bills or your credit card stuff. Give me your Cash App. Okay. Thank you, sub 2 community. Love you guys so much. Adriana, love you. Carolyn, love you. Quijano, you're the man. I do love you. Christian, my guy. Thanks for letting me make weed jokes, even though it was just jokes. I love you. You're amazing. All right, guys. Love you guys. Have a great night.